Welcome to this production from Western New York Athletics. Our featured sponsors for today's game are Damon University. Damon University is a private, non-sectarian university in Amherst, New York, offering undergraduate and graduate level degrees. Visit damon.edu to schedule a tour today. Richmond Vona LLC is committed to you. Being involved in a serious accident creates a whirlwind of changes. We know how serious the effects of a car accident can be on the victims and their families. At Richmond Vona LLC, we have helped our clients recover over $175 million. We have the skills and experience needed to handle a full range of car accident claims, including those with multiple parties and catastrophic injuries. Call 716-671-4341 for your free consultation today, or visit richmondvona.com. Colvin Cleaners, Western New York's premier green earth dry cleaner. Dry cleaning, wash and fold laundry, shirts, and tailoring. 2375 Elmwood Avenue, Kenmore. Call 716-873-2952. Logistics Plus of Buffalo. For all of your transportation needs, full truckload, LTL, dedicated and drop trailer moves, Logistics Plus of Buffalo is a one-stop shop. Email buffalo@logisticsplus.com for your next shipment or warehousing needs. G&G Fitness Equipment is a full-service provider of specialty home and commercial fitness equipment. Locations in Buffalo, Rochester, and Syracuse. Visit livefit.com. Wingnuts Buffalo, located near the Buffalo Airport at 4600 Genesee Street. Dine in or order for takeout. Open Monday to Sunday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Visit wingnutsbuffalo.com. SUNY Cortland stands out as one of New York's top public universities, a medium-sized school that offers academic strength across 68 majors, a high quality of student life, and a degree that pays back graduates. Visit www.cortland.edu to schedule a visit today. Binghamton University, a world-class institution. Binghamton University offers students a broad, interdisciplinary education with an international perspective and one of the most vibrant research programs in the nation. Visit www.binghamton.edu today. We would also like to thank Pathfinder College Planning, Dan Cha-Cha Injury Attorneys, 510 Toy Shop and Sports Cards, The Mental Match with Sam Recco, Canisius High School, St. Joseph's Collegiate Institute, St. Francis High School, Trench Trophy, recognizing the top linemen in Western New York, Lewis & Lewis PC, 37 Franklin Street, Buffalo, New York, B&T Supply, and Western Division, home of the Great Rate. Thank you for joining us. Please enjoy the game.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another week of the Empire State End Zone. Week 6 here happening in Western New York. My name is Jacob Fyack. Alongside with me is Francis Beck. And Francis, this is gut check time for some of these teams heading into Week 6, where it's going to decide how far they get with a chance to try to get a 1 seed in the playoffs and who's going to keep battling for that playoff spot.
Yeah, nothing really is going to be decided tonight in terms of playoff spots or anything like that, but a lot of teams really need to win in order to really stay in the race, and some teams, if they lose, they're going to need a lot of help to continue to keep their playoff hopes alive, or at least try to keep a top 4 seed in their own division.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're going to be looking at a good amount of games. We'll take a look at our top 8 games on the board. And as these games are brought to you by Dan Cha-Cha Injury Attorneys, Kenmore West on the road to face Clarence. Grand Island will be taking on Williamsville East. Randolph will be facing against Wilson. South Park against West Seneca East. And then a good matchup down in Lancaster. Niagara Falls and Lancaster battling out in Class AA. We'll talk a little bit more about that division. Lake Shore will face Williamsville South. Frankenville, Ellicottville will take on Gowanda Pine Valley. And currently in battle right now, St. Francis on the road taking on Erie High School in Erie, Pennsylvania. And we'll break down that game, going into that game, and what the score is at right now. But Francis, let's start off with Kenmore West and Clarence.
Yeah, Kenmore West and Clarence. It's our first game of the night. This game number 1 is brought to you by Damon University. Damon University is a private, non-sectarian university in Amherst, New York, offering undergraduate and graduate-level degrees. Visit damon.edu to schedule a tour today. A big game tonight, Jake, in Class A1. It's going to be on Western New York Athletics. 3-2 and 2-2 in league play. Kenmore West takes on 3-2 overall and 2-1 Clarence. And this Clarence team is now still in a position, thanks to last week's Will North win over West Seneca West. Clarence is still very much in a position to get the number 1 seed in that Class A1 division. Let's start with the Red Devils. They're coming off a 35-15 win over Niagara Wheatfield. It comes after 2 straight losses. Touchdown loss to West Seneca West back in week 3, and then last week a big loss to Bennett in AA. So they bounced back last week against Niagara Wheatfield. They are led this year by their dual threat quarterback of Nathan Arnold. He's thrown for 532 yards, 5 touchdowns. He's also run for $128 and 4 touchdowns. On the defensive end, they're led by Jared Redford. This Clarence team, Jake, a lot of it's going to come down to their end of the regular season against Williamsville North to decide who wins the division. But they got to take care of business first tonight against Kenmore West, and they still have Frontier the week after. The other side of the ball, the visiting Kenmore West Blue Devils, kind of an up-and-down year for Kenmore West. They're 2-2 in league play. Their losses are to West Seneca West and Williamsville North, but they bounced back the last 2 weeks with a 40-20 win over Frontier and then a 28-6 win over Sweet Home. They are led by their running back, Harlan Brannon, with 820 yards in the air. He's second in Section 6 rushing yards. He's averaging almost 10 yards a carry and 12 touchdowns. Defensively, they are led by Nick Adam, who leads the team with 38 total tackles, 3 tackles for a loss, and 4 interceptions on the year. So again, big one in Class A1, and that game will also be broadcast in full here on Western New York Athletics. Jake, why don't you tell us about game number 2?
Yeah, absolutely. Game 2, Grand Island, the Vikings, going to be taking on the Flames from Williamsville East High, and this game is brought to you by Richmond Vona. Richmond Vona LLC has the skills and experience needed to handle a full range of car accident claims, including those with multiple parties and catastrophic injuries. Call 716-671-4341 for your free consultation today, or visit richmondvona.com. So for Grand Island, they got their second straight win after taking on Amherst last week. Defensively, this team has been very dominant in the recent couple of weeks. Back-to-back shutout victories, to be exact. In fact, the last time they gave up any points to their opponents was the Health Sciences back in week 3. Offensively, they're scoring well over 30 points a game. Defense has been really good, just under 10 a game. Dominic Nucci already having another really good season with 2 rushing touchdowns last game, 7 on the season. Connolly Cup nominee back in week 1. Nick Corti, the senior quarterback, also plays defensive back, has a rushing touchdown and a touchdown reception last game. And Anthony Mantione, sophomore quarterback, rushing touchdown, passing touchdown last game. And then Andrew Kozlowski, touchdown reception last game, 4 on the season. He also has 2 sacks on the defensive side. And going to the defensive side, Jacob Brisky, Riley O'Brien, 2 of their top tacklers on the team, and Owen Rossetti, a senior, with 4 sacks on the year. This team has been very good. This team has been able to show why they're one of the better teams in Western New York on both sides of the ball. And as we take a look at their opponents, Williamsville East, 4-1 on the year, 3-1 in Class A2. Same record as what Grand Island has. Flames came away with a close road victory over North Tonawanda. They had to rely on the passing attack where junior quarterback Anthony Martis connected to his teammate and senior wide receiver Patrick Horseman 4 times, resulting in 74 yards through the air and 2 touchdowns, the only 2 touchdowns they needed to hold on and win the game. And for Anthony Martis, he's been able to find multiple guys throughout the season that he can go to. 3 of his guys have more than 10 receptions on the year, and 4 guys have over 100 receiving yards on the season. Ryan Kerrigan's going to be another guy to look out for, especially on the defense. Couple sacks, an interception, and 2 fumble recoveries on the season. And oh, by the way, Patrick Horseman, who's been able to do it on the receiving game, has also been able to do it on the secondary with 2 interceptions as well. And then you have Noah Kaiser, who was part of Week 2 Conley Cup Players of the Week. So this is a game where we've seen what the league's now shown so far in Class A2. I think that McKinley Health Sciences games show that Health Sciences is in the driver's seat to get that 1 seed in Class A2. But after that, you have Will East, who's 3-1. You also have Grand Island, who's 3-1 in league play, and McKinley, who's currently ranked second at a 3-1 league record. So depending on how this game goes and what happens to McKinley, could definitely shape up in those top 4 spots in Class A2.
Yeah, this game probably determines who gets the 3rd seed, but if Will East wins, they have a date with McKinley end of the year, and Will East could get themselves the number 2 seed in this one. So, but still a lot of football to be played. We move on now to game number 3. It's going to be Randolph and Wilson Class D battle. This game is brought to you by Logistics Plus Buffalo. For all your transportation needs, full truckload LTL, dedicated and drop trailer moves, the Logistics Plus Buffalo is a one-stop shop. Email buffalo@logisticsplus.com for your next shipment or warehousing needs. Again, this is a Class D battle. Randolph is 4-1 in the year, 3-1 in league play, taking on the undefeated Wilson Lakeman. Let's start with Randolph. Their one loss this year was a 47-19 decision to Newfane. They bounced back last week with an 18-6 win over Franklinville-Ellicottville. This Randolph team has won close. They've won big. They've won about every way you could. They're led this year by their running back, their tandem really in running backs, Kevin McElwain, Alexander Garland. McElwain with 359 yards, 5 touchdowns. Garland with 323 and 4 touchdowns. Jackson Morrison has thrown for 316 yards and 4 touchdowns. On defense, Carter Conley leads the way with 43 total tackles. The Lakemen, as I mentioned, undefeated. They seem to be in the driver's seat for that number 1 seed against, and the only other undefeated team left in Class D is Newfane. This defense, Jake, has given up just 40 points in 5 games. I'm sorry, in 5 games. I can't do math. Couple shutouts on the year. They're coming off a 49-0 win over Allegheny Limestone. This team has four guys who have over 200 yards in rushing. They're led by their quarterback, Vic, Stacy. He has 510 yards passing, 8 touchdowns. He's also run for 291 yards and 5 touchdowns. And Michael Ruble leads the group with 464 yards and 6 touchdowns. On defense, Bryke Leps leads the way with 60 total tackles and 8 tackles for a loss. So that is our game 3, a big one out of Class D, Jake.
Yeah, absolutely. And seeing how that game could shape out, because Randolph is not a team that you want to take lightly at all. Remember, Wilson and Newfane play each other in Week 8, the final week of the regular season, where Newfane tonight's got Allegheny Limestone. I believe it's tonight. And then obviously this Wilson-Randolph game. So this is another matchup where if you continue to see Newfane and Wilson have success and then continue that on Week 7, you could be talking about 2 teams in Class D that are undefeated overall, undefeated in Class D in league play. They're going to battle out for that 1 seed in Week 8. But a lot of stuff has to go both those teams' ways, though. And Wilson and Randolph, not a team you want to mess with. Wilson has to get the job there tonight.
Jake, why don't you tell us about game number 4?
Absolutely. So why don't we sorry, my laptop's here a little bit messed up. I was trying to transition it and it didn't go too well. will head to Class B1. That's what I wanted to say. Forgot what divisions they were in. South Park versus West Seneca East. This game's brought to you by Wingnuts Buffalo, located near the Buffalo Airport at 4600 Genesee Street. Dine in or order for takeout. Open Monday through Sunday from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Visit wingnutsbuffalo.com. South Park on the season, 3-2 overall, 3-1 in league play. This team was able to take down Cheektowaga in a close battle. I believe that game went to double overtime, if I'm not mistaken. Double overtime, low-scoring game. But it's been an interesting season for South Park. I did the play-by-play between South Park and Lakeshore back in week 2. Before that game, I spoke to head coach Tim Delaney, and he mentioned to me how young and inexperienced his roster is. Right now, there's 32 guys on the roster. Half of them are either a junior, sophomore, or a freshman. Also, the 16 seniors on this team have not had a lot of reps playing varsity football in their junior year and heading into their senior year. But even though scoring hasn't been great, they're just averaging over 11 points a game. They haven't even gotten to 20 points yet on the season when it comes to like scoring 20 points in the game. But their defense has been doing very well, allowing only 14 points a game. It also really shined last week. South Park's defense, got to Cheektowaga's quarterback and sacked him not once, not twice, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7. Francis, they sacked the quarterback 10 times. When is the last time you even heard of a high school football game where a defense is able to get to the quarterback and sack him double digits?
That's crazy.
Yeah, so this South Park defense, even though it's considered inexperienced, they got athletes. They can get the job done, and they're going to have to in this one. Joe Sacco, their senior offensive lineman, defensive lineman. You could also put quarterback, running back, and kicker. He does everything for them. So this guy, along with a couple other players, I believe Jalen Brown's their quarterback. The guys are going to have to, do very well for them. And as for West Seneca East, very dominant year, undefeated overall, undefeated in league play. They took down Pioneer in a road matchup. One takeaway from that game was that game is a lot closer than I think most people thought it was going to be. It was a tie game at halftime. West Seneca East goes up in the fourth quarter up 14-6, but they get a touchdown in the fourth to seal a win. So Pioneer was able to hold their own until the very end when West Seneca East pulled away late in that one. And also, West Seneca East, we mentioned them, we mentioned Newfane and Wilson. Francis, you want to know what they all have in common? All three of those teams?
What do they have in common?
They're all undefeated still. They're 3 of the 5 teams remaining in Section 6 where they have not been beaten yet. And a couple of key parts of those teams, the players on the team, Kevin Sadowski, 2 rushing touchdowns last week. He's top 20 in rushing scores with 8. DJ Benker had a passing touchdown last game. He's got 10 on the year. He's in the top 20 in Western New York in passing touchdowns. Also has 2 interceptions on the season and was part of Week 2 Conley Cup Players of the Week. Joey Molnar, Kyler Montero, Eric Johnson, Josh Urban. These are all guys that can, provide well. Mostly Joey Molnar on offense, but on defense, Kyler Montero, Eric Johnson, Josh Urban have been guys that have been able to be very dominant. And then you also have Anthony DiMartino, their senior, 3 sacks on the season and was a Week 1 Trench Trophy nominee. So, again, another game where you have an unbeaten who's been able to have a very successful season so far, but an opponent in South Park where they're going to show their athleticism, another team you can't take lightly.
All right, our next game number 5, I think is the game of the night. It's going to be Niagara Falls heading to Lancaster, a big-time AA matchup that's brought to you by SUNY Cortland. SUNY Cortland stands out as one of New York's top universities, a medium-sized school that offers academic strength across 68 majors, a high quality of student life, and a degree that pays back graduates. Visit www.cortland.edu to schedule a visit today. Niagara Falls, Lancaster, Jake, the loser of this game, at least if Niagara Falls loses this game, they go to 3 losses. And Lancaster, if they lose, they go to 2 losses, but could very well get to 3. So this game probably, the winner of this game gets home field in the first round, and I would say probably the loser probably won't. And that's a crazy thing to say about Lancaster not having a guaranteed home game at this point of the season. Let's start with Niagara Falls. They've kind of been one of the surprise teams of the year. They came out in their first game. They lost a close one to Bennett. And then their next two games, they beat Williamsville North. They beat Niagara Wakefield. They had a close win over Lockport. And then last week, a game we saw right here in the Empire State end zone, they were down 21-0 early against Orchard Park and then battle back to tie the thing in the fourth quarter before losing in the final minutes to Orchard Park. This Niagara Falls team is battle-tested. They got a test last week. Didn't quite do as well as they'd hoped, but they got another test tonight, and they have a chance to really stay in that conversation for the top teams in AA this year. These teams in AA still haven't really separated themselves. We'll learn a lot tonight. Let's start with so as far as Niagara Falls players go, they're led by their dual threat quarterback, Michael Taylor. He has thrown for 1,029 yards. He's third in passing in Section 6. He has 11 touchdowns. He's also run for 360 yards and 4 touchdowns. Darryl Smith is number 6 in the receiving yards in Section 6. He has 375 yards and 8 touchdowns. Other side for Lancaster, they are led by their quarterback, Matt King. He has 830 yards. He's 8th in Section 6 passing, 14 touchdowns. On the ground, they're led by Daniel Ahern with 445 yards and 9 touchdowns. Defensively, Braden Klinger leads the way with 40 total tackles and 2 sacks. Cole Urban has 2 interceptions as well for the Legends. So that's Game 5. We're going to be spending a lot of time on that one today, I'm sure, Jake.
Yeah, and the other thing to look out for, Bennett is number 1 in the Class AA, 3-0 in league play. They take on Lockport tomorrow at 2 o'clock. So this Lancaster-Niagara Falls game, obviously for Lancaster, you want to try to get as many wins as you can in league play because you don't know when it could be, Bennett's time where if they get a loss or even if they do get a loss in league play. So this is a big game for Lancaster. Got to try to improve that league record.
All right, Jake, why don't you tell us about game number 6?
Yeah, Lakeshore versus Williamsville South. As this game is brought to you by G&G Fitness. G&G Fitness Equipment is a full-service provider of specialty home and commercial fitness equipment with locations in Buffalo, Rochester, and Syracuse. Visit livefit.com. So for Lakeshore, they're 1-4 overall, and they are 1-3 in Class B1. They picked up their first win of the season in a low-scoring 7-6 game over Lewiston Porter. And I think I did a game with Tom. It was South Park in Lakeshore. There's some really good guys on this team. I know the record, says one thing, but the players on this team say another. Tommy Smaldino, in fact, his younger brother, Samuel Smaldino, junior and sophomore, have been really good on the passing attack. Tommy Smaldino, 3 touchdown receptions on the season. He's got a couple interceptions, had a touchdown reception last game. Samuel Smaldino with a couple touchdowns on the year as well. Troy Russell, another youngster, a sophomore, had a sack last game. And then Cooper Hazard, their senior quarterback, passing touchdown last game. Had a little bit of a struggle this year throwing the ball. Has 8 interceptions, but has also thrown for 7 touchdowns. And then Tyler Quillis, a junior, 12 catches, 139 receiving yards on offense, and then 1 interception on the year. So this Lakeshore team, they got some really good players on this team. They're going to have a challenge, though. They're going to take on Williamsville South, 4-1 overall, undefeated in Class B1. Williamsville South got their 4th win after taking down Starpoint last week. Some big names to look out for. Philip Ganji, their junior quarterback, threw for a couple touchdowns last game. He's got 12 on the season and also has 4 rushing touchdowns on the ground. He was also part of a Conley Cup Player of the Week back in Week 3. Evan Zankel, 43 catches, 686 receiving yards, 9 touchdowns. Also has a pick 6. Was part of Week 2's Conley Cup Players of the Week. Baron Schnell, their senior offensive lineman, also plays defensive line, Week 1 Trent's Trophy nominee. Then Alex York, another senior, 38 tackles, 1 sack on the year. And Danny Laris, junior wide receiver, also linebacker. But it's a defensive side where he's been really shining through. 36 tackles, 1 sack, and 1 interception. So This is a game where, Lakeshore could get a really big upset against a Will South team that needs a league win. Considering where West Seneca East is at right now, they're 5-0 overall, 5-0 in league play. Will South right beneath them, 4-0 in league play. You get this win, you still keep yourself in that second spot in Class B1. Depending how the rest of the season goes, you're keeping yourself fighting for a possible 1 seed.
Yeah, certainly a big one there in Class B1. Let's move on to game number 7. Game number 7 is another Class D battle. It is brought to you by Binghamton University. It's Franklinville-Ellicottville against Gowanda-Pine Valley. Franklinville-Ellicottville 2-3 in the season, 2-2 in league play. They take on a Gowanda-Pine Valley team which has had a very strong year, 4-1 overall, 3-1 in league play. Let's start with the Panthers. Their lone loss this year was a tough one to Wilson back in week 3, 56-22. They since bounced back with wins over Allegheny Limestone and Cattaraugus Little Valley. They're led this year by their quarterback, Carter Capozzi. He's number 9 in passing yards in Section 6 with 803 yards. Goes along with 10 touchdowns. As far as running the ball, it's Winter Mentley Peters who leads the way with 436 yards and 6 TDs. He's also their top tackler with 37 total tackles on the season, along with 2 sacks. Other side, you have Franklinville-Ellicottville. They are coming off a close 18-6 loss to Randolph last week. They are led by their running back, Cameron Mandel, 431 yards and 5 touchdowns. Their quarterback is Rylan Benjamin, 317 yards. I think he's dealt with some injuries so far this year. So it looks like he's back to full strength, so he'll be under center. And then defensively, they're led by Landon Learn with 29 total tackles on the year. Jake, this game probably kind of determines that number 3 to 5 seed in Class D, which is the difference between, a home game in that first round or going on the road.
And we always know how important a home game is, especially for playoff time. The home field advantage is very clutch to have when you're a team fighting in Class D. Last game we'll be highlighting St. Francis taking on Erie High School out in Erie, Pennsylvania. St. Francis on the road in Erie, PA. And this game's brought to you by Colvin Cleaners, Western New York's premier green earth dry cleaner. Dry cleaning, wash and fold laundry, shirts and tailoring, located at 2375 Elmwood Avenue in Kenmore. You can call them at 716-873-2952. So for St. Francis, 4-1 overall, 1-0 in Monsignor Martin. That one win happened last Saturday, beating down St. Joe's 35-0. Trent Buttles, their junior quarterback, had a couple passing touchdowns last week. He's 6th in Western New York in passing yards with 855, while his 9 touchdowns on the year would put him 11th in Section 6. Trent also has 4 rushing touchdowns on the year, and he also has an interception on the season as a defender. Now, there isn't too many QBs where you can do on both sides of the ball. There's some teams that will just have him just strictly play quarterback. But for this guy, he's able to do it on both sides of the ball and has been able to find success on offense and defense. And here's the other thing. Running back duos for St. Francis. Dominic Cook Jr., Tyrone Clark Jr. Both juniors, by the way, in their junior season. Dominic Cook, 403 yards, 7 touchdowns. Second on the team in tackles with 26. And then Tyrone Clark Jr., 393 rushing touchdowns, 5 on the year. This running duo of Dominic Cook and Tyrone Clark, to me, is one of the best in Western New York. I think the next one that probably comes up to me is Health Sciences with their duo of Kevin Guy and Kayvon Pitts. And if you know from seeing how both these teams have been able to establish the run and find a ton of success. So Clark and Cook. Clark, a transfer from Lackawanna, entering his junior year, finding a lot of success on the ground. And Dominic Cook, just having as much success, if not more, than from Tyrone Clark. Larry Hardy, a senior, leads the team in tackles with 29. Mason Anderson leads the offense in touchdown receptions with 4, second on the team in receptions with 10, and is also second in receiving yards at 184. And did I mention that he's a sophomore? How many times are we going to hear sophomores? How many sophomores on these teams in Section 6 are just doing so much contribution to their football teams? I say it over and over again. These sophomores this year, I don't know what's it about this year. They're just having so much success than I think in previous years. But that's the St. Francis squad. The Erie High School Royals, they lost to Oil City in a close 21-20 battle on homecoming. They're 1-6 on the year. So this game tonight against St. Francis being played out at Erie High School, at Erie Veterans Memorial Stadium. It is their senior night. So there's definitely something in the air for this Erie squad trying to get a big win against a Monsignor Martin opponent in St. Francis. Erie's had some really close competitions, despite what the record says. They took on Oil City, who was 5-1 at the time. They lost by 1 point. A month prior, they took on Hickory High School, who's now 6-1. They lost to them by 3. Before that, Erie faced Cathedral Prep, who St. Francis played against them and had a big win, 49-22. Erie plays Cathedral Prep. Erie only loses by 6. So there's at least a couple games where they have been very competitive. And I would go more into this. But I guess this is one of the games here that I completely forgot was being started before the show started. So I already
is it being started?
It is. It has started.
Okay.
Yeah, they started at 6 o'clock. So I already have the score of the game so far. It's St. Francis up on Erie, 22-6. Trent Buttles found Mason Anderson twice for 2 passing touchdowns. Mason Anderson has 2 receiving touchdowns. And then Tyrone Clark has a rushing touchdown in this game as well. So nice, strong start for St. Francis. They're up on Erie, 22-6.
All right. When we come back, we will have we'll take a look at the other games going on. But before we go, we do want to take a minute here to recognize that the Western New York football community and the Amherst community has lost a very special member. Coach Jason Beckman passed away earlier this week. Who was the varsity head coach at Amherst for the past several years. He's been part of that Amherst Central community for almost 3 decades as a football coach, a middle school phys ed teacher, and a varsity bowling coach as well. I know the Amherst is hosting Hamburg tonight and are holding a moment of silence before the game. I dealt with Jason a couple times in our years of covering Amherst football here at Western New York Athletics. Always a class act, and you read in the media all of the great things that coaches and others have said about him. Never had the best teams, but made the most with what he had. And the other thing too, he behind the scenes at the stadium and at the different events, he was always there with Section 6, especially helping with the stats. Just a good all-around guy, and just it's a tough loss for everybody in Western New York. So our thoughts and prayers tonight are with him, his family, and the Amherst community tonight.
At Richmond Vona, we are seriously dedicated to bettering the communities that we serve.
You will get super high level communication, and you are getting a team of dedicated attorneys, paralegals.
If you put your trust in us and hire us, we promise to take care of everything. Call us as soon as possible so we can start the investigation to fight to get you the settlement you deserve.
Wing nuts. You still got to go.
Have you guys tried Room 40 yet?
Looking for the perfect spot to throw your next party? Say hello to Room 40, our private event space at both Wingnuts locations. Maybe you got a birthday, a graduation, anniversary, business event, rehearsal dinner, or even a sports banquet. From intimate get-togethers to rowdy celebrations, Room 40 is built to handle it all and fits up to 60 guests, with custom food and drink packages, flexible setups, legendary Wingnuts hospitality, and all the wings you can handle. If you're planning a celebration or get-together in Buffalo, this is where the party's at. Local vibes, zero stress, all fun. Book Room 40 today and throw a party Buffalo won't forget. Hit the link in our bio or visit wingnutsbuffalo.com/room40 to book now.
All right, well,
I'll go if you go to Wingnuts. Deal.
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
I'm George Wiley, a senior at Canisius High School. As the only Jesuit high school in Western New York, Canisius delivers a life-changing education. Canisius prepares young men for acceptance into the nation's finest universities, and our community supports us at each step of our journey. We are proud of our excellent athletics and our emphasis on service. This place is special. Let us show you why.
Experience firsthand the excellence of Canisius High School. Schedule your visit at canisiushigh.org.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA, with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics.
Or an efficient personal approach for all of your transportation needs. More information about our Buffalo office is available at logisticsplus.com/Buffalo.
All right, welcome back, Empire State End Zone, Week 6 edition. Why don't we take a look real quick at our Octo Box? Several games already in action. So far, we're still waiting on the streams to be turned on at Wilson and I think it's Gowanda hosting Gowanda. So we're still waiting for the streams to be turned on there, but you can see several games in action. Why don't we jump to our live scoreboard here on this Week 6? Our live scoreboard tonight is presented by Western Division, home of the great rate. Jake, when you look at some of those games on there, of something that we haven't talked about, what's one that kind of sticks out to you?
You know, it's funny because it's not even a league matchup. I think Orchard Park Sweet Home interests me a bit just because with that being a non-league battle late in the season, you have two teams that are, looking to provide more what the season's been so far. I know Orchard Park's had a, strong season. Looking at Sweet Home on the side of things, they're a team that's 2-3 overall, but, a matchup where they can be, very dominant and very competitive as well. That one catches my eye.
One that kind of catches my eye is South Park West Seneca East. I think West Seneca East played a closer game than they would have liked last week against Pioneer. I like to see how this Trojan team bounces back. Are they going to come out and, they learned a little bit of a lesson. Maybe they want to come out and they just want to take it to South Park right away and show, okay, hey, we're the top dog in this division. Everyone's going to come after us. Obviously, they have games coming up against Will South later in the year. But I would imagine this West Seneca East team would be pretty motivated coming into this week. I should mention we have two scores. Canisius, as you can see, is up 21-14 on Steubenville, Ohio. They're out of state. And then St. Francis, we'll fix our screen a little bit. We have below there, they lead 22-6 over Erie, PA. That one is in the first quarter.
Another game I want to mention is Eden North Collins against Cardinal O'Hara. Again, another non-league battle, but O'Hara surprisingly has been having, a good season so far. They're 3-2 overall. They've had some dominant wins to where they've won 33-0, 40-22, and 63-14. So this team can definitely put up points. We've seen the amount of times that E. North Collins has given up points throughout the season. So that might be a shootout between both those teams, as we're going to take a look at the game that ourselves, Western New York Athletics, are having live right now. Ken West against Clarence.
Yeah, it looks like Kenmore West has the ball just outside the red zone, about 9 minutes in. We're told there was a score in the Williamsville South Lakeshore game, and so we might jump back there soon because it looks like Will South might be back in the run of it. Wilson has just turned on in our Octo box, so we have 7 of the games filled out. And Wilson just scored, I'm told. We'll keep it right here, though, with Kenmore West. Snap. QB looks, rolls to his right, gets it away. That one is out of bounds. Game 1 is brought to you by Damon University. Damon University is a private, non-sectarian university in Amherst, New York, offering undergraduate and graduate level degrees. Visit damon.edu to schedule a tour today. Trying to see if there's do we want to check on game number 6? Will South. So Will South has already scored, and it looks like they have the ball back deep in Lakeshore territory. Trying to see how much time is left. Looks like 8:30 right now. Second and 7 for the Billies, or is it second and goal?
Second.
Second
Okay,
and 15.
Okay, so this is a second and goal.
Okay, second,
because they had a penalty.
You're right.
Yeah, so they got pushed back to the 15-yard line. So they're going to go 4 wide, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Fake the snap, and nice little end-around play. Cutting up to the outside, able to shake by a defender and put it in for the touchdown. I didn't see any penalty markers down there, but early on in this one, Will South up 13-0, and we quickly move over to the Lancaster game.
All right, Lancaster game. It looks like Lancaster has it second and goal from the 4. Opening drive goes still 0-0, 9:40 to go. Snap, run up the middle, and touchdown. Touchdown Lancaster. They take the lead over Niagara Falls on their opening drive. They lead this one 6-0 pending the extra point. Let's head back to game number 1. Game number 1, throw over the middle. That is knocked down on 4th down. So it looks like Kenmore West. Is that going to be a turnover on downs? I believe so. Let's check the replay.
Pass was just high. And great bat down, too, by the way, by number 4 of Clarence. Could have possibly just picked it off, but just wanted to, try to get his team into, much better field position. But great job by the Red Devils. They'll start off with the ball.
Why don't we check game number 4? See who has the ball there. It looks like it's West Seneca East at the South Park 30. They're trying to drive. 0-0 game with about 8:30 to go in the first quarter. This game number 4 is brought to you by Wingnuts Buffalo, located near the Buffalo Airport at 4600 Genesee Street. Dine in or order for takeout. Open Monday through Sunday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Visit wingnutsbuffalo.com. All right, we have an out-of-town score. Pioneer leads 7-0 right now over Lewiston Porter. That game being played in Youngstown.
Let's see what this East team does here on this drive. Taking a look at that St. Francis game. It looks like it still says 22-0 on Erie. Well, for this West Seneca East team taking on South Park.
St. Francis is up 30-6 over Erie, PA.
Here's now the handoff to the left side, staying up on their feet and able to move forward into the 20, inside the 20 to the 18, picking up the first down. Great job there for West Seneca East by number 22, Kevin Sadowski, a key guy they got to have in getting a win over South Park.
Was the St. Francis game in the first or second quarter? Second quarter, okay. I think our friend Axel here commented on Facebook. He's wondering what the West Seneca West score is. They're taking on Niagara Wheatfield. We will figure that out in just a moment. We'll find their scoring update for there. So, Axel, we appreciate you watching. I know you have to deal with your rival right now on the screen, but that's okay. It'll make a very exciting Week 8 match against your rival for the Battle of West Seneca. But, Alex, we will get you... Axel, I should say. We will get you your score in just a moment.
Quick scoring here. Chautauqua Lake just scored. Braden Gibbs finding Devin Hewis for a 17-yard touchdown. Eagles are up 7-0 on Fredonia. As for West Seneca East, Sadowski trying to get to the end zone, and he is going to be short, brought down close to the 3-yard line. But this West Seneca East team moving on this Sparks defense.
Yeah, certainly West Seneca East. Nice long drive for them. 6:20 to go in this first quarter. Update from the other side of town. It is still no score between West Seneca West and Niagara Wheatfield.
So from the snap, and able to take it right in, faking the defense, using the strength of that O-line. And the Trojans are up on the board first. 6:04 to go in the first quarter.
All right, we're heading over to game one. Niagara Falls with the ball across midfield. This game... Oh, where do we want to go next? Okay. This game brought to you by SUNY Cortland. SUNY Cortland stands out as one of New York's top public universities, a medium-sized school that offers academic strength across 68 majors, a high quality of student life, and a degree that pays back graduates. Visit www.2.cortland.edu to schedule a visit today. I'm sure Jake already knows, but our very own Tom Prince is on the call this week with our good buddy Mark Johnson on WXRL calling this game on the radio. So, and we hope to be hearing from Tom later tonight on this one. So we will have a post-game interview on our social media pages with the winner of this one.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have Tom Prince call in, just talk a little bit more about this game. We'll also have Carson Harper call in as well. He is on one of the games that we are showcasing in our Octobox between Kenmore West and Clarence. He's doing play-by-play for that game. When that game goes final, he'll call in just to discuss about the game and what were the key takeaways from that matchup. But for Niagara Falls here, a chance to try to make a statement here. And this pass, did that fall incomplete? Looks like it did. So bring up third down as we'll go ahead and transition to game one, Ken West and Clarence.
Oh, Ken West is back in the Red Devils red zone, Jake.
And it looks like they just committed we're being told Clarence threw a pick. So Ken West has the ball. They had a 1st and 3. And then a block in the back on the offense of Ken West will push him back. So they'll be at Clarence's 30-yard line.
Axel, hopefully you're still watching. We have an update. Jake, get this. Niagara Wheatfield defense with the goal line stand at the 1. They make the stop and they take over possession on their own 1. So the defense coming up big. Now it's up to the offense to get the ball out of their zone there. But a good start out on the other side at West Seneca West.
That's very impressive. Very impressive when you get a goal line stance like that.
Bob, thank you for watching. We are keeping an eye on Lakeshore Will South. I know Will South was close there last week. Was up and was close to scoring again. I don't know if we had a second score from there, but we'll stick here. Kenmore West. The Maryland Eye toss out to the right. Gets about 5 yards, but there is a flag. Do we have anything going on, Evan, in game number 6?
Another scoring update. St. Francis all over Erie High School. They're now up 37-6. Trent Buttles found Mason Anderson again. 3 touchdowns on the night for Trent Buttles, 3 touchdown receptions on the night for the sophomore wide receiver and Mason Anderson.
All right, you can see the penalty here on Kenmore West, bringing them back a little bit. We're going to head to game number 4. That's South Park, West Seneca East, where it looks like South Park has the ball. They're driving on the West Seneca East end. It looks like it's about 2nd and 9 from the 42, 43-yard line. We'll check out this play. This game brought to you by Wingnuts Buffalo, located near the Buffalo Airport at 4600 Genesee Street. Dine-in or takeout, open Monday through Sunday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. The second down pass to the right side, that falls incomplete. 4:41 to go in the first quarter. This one.
Trying to go one-on-one there on that one. Had his man beat, ball just sailed a little too high to the right, and it went out of play. But 3rd down and about, looks like to be 9 yards to go for the Sparks to try to pick up the first down. So for South Park, they'll show 3 wide receivers with 2 tailbacks. So from the snap, able to get the blocking he needs, run it up the gut to the 40, to the 30, and then able to get pushed forward progress to the 29 and push back. But South Park with a huge run attack against the Trojan defense and able to get this ball downfield, inching closer to trying to get their first score of the game. This is the game as it looks like we lost our signal there for a second. Now we got it back.
Why don't we head to game number 6 real quick? Looks like the Billies scored a second touchdown. I want to say they lead 14-0, about 3:10 to go and counting in the first quarter. Billies with the ball, driving once again, looking to go up 3 scores.
Yeah, this is the game for the Billies where they want to get a big league win here to keep them up in the standings. As South Park looks like they're facing some trouble on West Seneca East defense. But this is a game here where West Seneca East battling with South Park, while South battling against Lakeshore. Got 4 teams in Class B1. Duking it out here on Friday night. So Will South showing 4 wide receivers, taking the snap, rolling out to the right side, trying to find a man, and that one looked like was caught. And Will South able now to get into the red zone, brought down at looks like to be 11, maybe 12-yard line, but Will South already moving down the field.
All right, we're going to make a switch because Gowanda did not turn on their camera, unfortunately. We will try to keep track of their scoring as we go on. Hopefully we have someone there who can send us updates, but we're switching it, game number 7, to Depew and East Aurora. East Aurora just scored, I'm told. So we'll check in. Here we are right here. So 7-0 East Aurora leads with 3:07 to go in the first quarter. This game 7 brought to you by Binghamton University. But we're going to move to game number 6, where it's Williamsville South having it 2nd and 10 inside the 15 right now, Jake.
Yeah, right now they're trying to now increase this to a 3-score lead. As I know you can't see it on the broadcast, but we're taking a look at game 4, West Seneca East and South Park. South Park slowly going down the field. They just got to the 10-yard line. Yeah, why don't we go ahead and switch it to that one? Because right now, South Park slowly but surely going down the field, taking some good time off the clock as well with 2:30 to go in the first. And there's the big guy, Joe Sacco, able to run it up the gut and get brought down at the 5-yard line. They love to use him in these type of situations in the red zone as we're now hit back over to game one where Clarence just came up with a big gain.
Yeah, I think that was I forget who 30. I don't have my notes in front of me. 34 with a big run, and nearing the red zone are the Red Devils, but we'll head back to game number 4 where South Park continues their long drive. 2 minutes to go, down 6-0 on the doorstep of getting in the end zone.
As for Joe Sacco being a ball carrier again for South Park, just getting forward, looked like he picked up maybe a yard or so on the play.
Update from across town, Jake. West Seneca West getting a safety. Remember we mentioned earlier the Niagara Wheatfield defense coming with a goal line stand. Will end up few plays later. They get the safety. Now lead this one 2-0. They have the ball at the Niagara Wheatfield 45. 4 minutes to go in the first quarter there.
And then at the end of the first quarter, Amherst battling against Hamburg. 2 good defenses so far. It remains scoreless as a big play there by South Park, and it is a touchdown. And here's a fun one for South Park. That is their man, number 13, Xavier Gonzalez, who, by the way, when I was doing this game against Lakeshore and South Park, Francis, Xavier Gonzalez is listed at 5 feet tall, and he lines up behind Joe Sacco. They use Sacco first. This time they flip it. They fool the defense, give it to Xavier Gonzalez. He runs it right up the gut for a touchdown.
All right, we're jumping back to game 1. Clarence on the doorstep, handoff up the middle to 22, and that is a touchdown for Clarence. That is Ryan Perminski with the touchdown, but we're heading to game number 5 in Lancaster. It's Niagara Falls on the doorstep. They're still looking for their first points of the game, correct, Evan? Okay.
And this is what we love about the Empire State end zone. Touchdown. Do we get another touchdown here? They're trying to move it over to the right.
Is there a substitution error maybe?
Oh, it was a false start on Niagara Falls.
Why don't we check in game number 3? That's Wilson. We haven't checked in with them yet tonight. 7-0 the Lakemen lead. They have the ball. 1:10 and counting to go in the first quarter. Snap, quarterback keeper up the middle. Wilson taking on Randolph as they near the red zone. We'll head back to Lancaster, Niagara Falls. Lining up right now. It looks like it's 1st and goal from the 10. Snap. Quarterback throws to the right. Oh, diving effort. I want to see a signal here. No, incomplete that one on first down. We'll go to second down. Why don't we check in with game number 3 once again? 28 seconds to go. And it looks like a timeout. So, it looks like possibly a penalty on Randolph moves the ball ahead for Wilson. I want to check in with game number 2. We haven't been there yet tonight. Still no score. Start of the second quarter as the pass goes out of bounds there for Williamsville East.
And this game between Grand Island and Williamsville East is brought to you by Richmond Vona. Richmond Vona LLC has the skills and experience needed to handle a full range of car accident claims, including those with multiple parties and catastrophic injuries. Call 716-671-4341 for your free consultation today or visit richmondvona.com. So now for Lancaster. So Lancaster's defense, being told, picked up a sack. So what's now 3rd down and goal, needing the 15 yards to try to punch it in. They have 2 chances to do it. So all the shotgun showing 4 wide receivers. Taylor facing that pressure right away. somehow able to avoid it. Now here comes more of the pressure trying to throw it, and this one will be thrown away incomplete, but Taylor able to escape the pressure and make sure his offense didn't get pushed back even more. Seeing how some of the other games are being played out throughout Section 6.
Do you want to check the Octo box? Why don't we take a look?
We'll go ahead and take a look at the Octo box here as these top 8 games presented to you by Dan Chacha Injury Attorneys.
Yeah, it looks like game number 8, that's St. Francis and Erie, PA. That's at halftime. Trying to see Will East. Oh, I'd like to check in on game number 3. That's Wilson and Randolph. Start of the second quarter there. Handoff taken down in the backfield. You have a down on your end, Evan, on your screen? We don't have one on ours. Okay, it just shows the time and the score. So start of the second quarter, 7-0 Wilson. This game brought to you by Logistics Plus Buffalo. For all your transportation needs, full truckload LTL, dedicated and drop trailer moves, Logistics Plus Buffalo is a one-stop shop. Email buffalo@logisticsplus.com for your next shipment or warehousing needs. Go back. Hand off to the left side. Squeaking through.
Hollingbarker just came in.
Touchdown pending the extra point. Going to try to get a name for who scored that one.
I don't think he... Well, hang on. There's a penalty first. I don't know if they signaled it a touchdown. I think one of the players raised their arms as if it was a touchdown, but regardless, it was a holding on the offense.
So that holding wipes out a nice run by Michael Rubel. Want to head to game number 1 or game number 5? I'm said. Yeah. So Lancaster just stopping, so I can see up there. So a goal line stand by the Legends. Second goal line stand we've seen tonight. Legends take over with 3:19 to go in the first quarter. They lead Niagara Falls 7-0. Let's head back to 3. Snap. QB's going to keep it to the right side. He's got some room. He takes it. He'll get some decent yardage. Trying to see if we can figure out a down. If the camera will pan over, I guess it will not. This one in the second quarter, 7-0 Wilson leads. Let's head to game number 2. This game, still no score. Just under 11 minutes to go in the second quarter. Looks like Grand Island has the ball back. We saw Williams Least was driving a little bit, but Grand Island gets the ball back, so no score over there. We'll head back to 3. Throw to the right side. It's caught. It's a short gain. That's going to be close to a first down, Jake. They didn't need to score here. They're not in a goal-to-go situation.
Right. Yeah, you want to get as close as you can to the first down. I also saw a big play that South Park just had. Looks like they tied the game up against West Seneca East, and they already have the ball back at their own, looks like 42-yard line.
Jake, I think this is going to be fourth down right now for Wilson, so we'll stick here for this, and we'll head over there. Southwestern leads Salamanca 14-0. Is that in the first or second quarter? That's one still in the first quarter. Oh, that was caught. That was caught, Jake. Touchdown. Ryan Ho with the catch on 4th and short. He gets it in the end zone, and Wilson taking a 2-touchdown lead with 9:30 to go. Why don't we head over to game 4? Game number 4, South Park with the ball. They are up in this one, 7-6. Deep throw. That one's incomplete. 9:56 to go in the second quarter. Jake mentioned it. We saw South Park score. They convert on the extra point. West Seneca East did not on their first try, so it's South Park leading game. West Seneca East we thought would come out to a faster start, or at least I thought. They have not, and they are down right now in this second quarter.
I don't know if we had a update yet on this one, but Canisius up on Steubenville 21-14.
That might be in the third quarter now. Why don't we check in on game number 5? Remember, Lancaster defense with the goal line stand. Looks like they've pushed. Niagara Falls has the ball back, so they have the ball. Let's see. Are they going to mark it at the 26? So they're on the doorstep of the red zone, so we'll keep an eye on that one. All right, Newfane leads 14-0 over Allegheny Limestone. We assuming that one's in the first quarter or the second? First quarter still. We'll have a look at our live scoreboard in a little bit, show you what we have so far. Snap. Taylor looks, throws to the left side.
Oh, picked off. What an interception.
You get a number on that, Jake?
It's tough to tell on the
you know what, I can't see.
That might be number 0, I think it said.
Number 0. Let me pull up my roster here. That's Cole Nataro, the senior defensive back, number 0. It looks like he had the interception, so another stop by the Legends defense, but another tough start for the Legends offense. Why don't we jump to game number 6? 21-0. It looks like Williamsville South just scored. They lead Lakeshore with about 9:58 to go in the second quarter. That's how I'm reading the scoreboard, Jake.
Yeah, it looks like that. And Will South just, putting the hammer down early on against Lakeshore.
In contrast to game number 4, where West Seneca East, who is also in the B1 division, they're down right now to South Park, and I believe, actually, it looks like the Trojans just got the ball back. They have the ball on their own end. I'm sorry. Will South had scored earlier, so they have the ball. Will South looking for their 4th touchdown right now. Yeah, that was one. West Seneca East got the ball back.
Also, Lancaster just had a big run.
The Lancaster gets out of their own end. I see some movement in game number 2. Why don't we head over there? Grand Island on the doorstep of the red zone. Run to the right side by number 8. He's going to get the first down. Jake, that was a 4th and 3. They go with the QB keeper and get the first down.
Yeah, and that's a big one for them. Anthony Mancione, their sophomore, had a rushing touchdown last game. He's done a really good job on the running attack. They go to him when they need them to at big parts of the game, and they go to him there.
All right, let's head back real quick to across town at Williamsville South. Looks like Billy's once again on the doorstep. Are they going to call that first and goal? Yes, they are. All right, Iroquois up 14-6 over Albion. That one about to enter the second quarter. This game number 6, is brought to you by G&G Fitness. G&G Fitness Equipment is a full-service provider of specialty home and commercial fitness equipment. Locations in Buffalo, Rochester, and Syracuse. Visit livefit.com. Penalty on the play. Let's head to 7, where Depew is looking to get on the board for the first time. They're down 7-0. They're up 8-7. I'm sorry. East Aurora has the ball. They're down 8-7, but they're inside. They're right next to the goal line. It looks like that's going to be second and goal coming up. This game brought to you by Binghamton University. Let's check back in with game 2, where we just saw Grand Island convert on 4th down. It's 2nd and 10. Throw to the right side. Are they going to throw a flag? Yes, they are. So pass interference on the Flames is going to be 15 yards for the Vikings. Why don't we head back to Depew, where jumbo package for East Aurora. Handoff, and that's a nice stop, Jake.
That's a big one by Depew.
We've seen a couple of goal line stands already tonight.
We have actually.
Yeah.
It's been some nice, good defensive plays by the respective football team's defense. Really good job.
You want to head back to game 2? Looks like Grand Island's still in the huddle. We'll keep an eye on both of these games right here. No other games are right now in the red zone, although Will South is close. We'll keep an eye on them too, but we're going to stay here with our game number 2. 1st and 10 for Grand Island. Ball looks to be inside the 15. I'll call it the 14. Snap. Handoff. No, QB's going to keep it to the right side. And that's going to be 1st and goal. This game brought to you by Richmond Vana. Richmond Vana LLC has the skills and experience needed to handle a full range of car accident claims, including those with multiple parties and catastrophic injuries. Call 716-671-4341 for your free consultation today or visit richmondvana.com.
I want to see what's going on with 7 here. They had another run, East Aurora Holland did, and Depew stopped them once again. I think actually pushed them back a couple of yards as well. So like we just mentioned about a couple minutes ago, some big, really good defensive plays so far, especially from Depew's goal line.
Update, West Seneca West now leads Niagara Wakefield 10-0. Wakefield getting ready to punt the ball from midfield. 10:51 to go in the second quarter. Again, West Seneca West up 10-0 on Niagara Wakefield.
We're actually going to go ahead and transition over to game 4. I think timeout just got called in that one. As for the Trojans, are able to punch it inside to the 10-yard line. They're looking to go up and retake the lead.
Let's head back to game number 2, where Grand Island has it. They just scored, so Grand Island strikes first in a battle of contenders in Class A2. Vikings going to line up to go for 2. We'll stick with here. Snap. Handoff to the left side. Running to the corner. And 2-point is good. So Grand Island goes up 8-0. We'll head over to West Seneca East, where the Trojans are driving, Jake.
Yeah, and this has been a nice back and forth battle. If you're at this game, this has been a pretty fun one so far. Both teams are, knows what's at stake here at the later part of the year, and they're trying to make a statement, especially West Seneca East here on this drive.
Looks like Wilson just scored. They're now up 14-0.
So from the snap, shovel pass, hitting it over to the outside. The Trojans trying to punch it in, and they're going to be short of the end zone. Let's head over to game number 5 real quick.
Ball's still down 7-0. Start of the second quarter. Handoff up the middle. Looks like that's going to be enough for the first down. Going to be just short of the 10, so it'll make it 1st and 10 from about the 10.5-yard line, Jake.
Well, and let's see what's going on over at 7 real quick. Looked like we just might have had something there, and I think East Aurora Holland just scored. They're now up.
All right, let's head over to 4. And there was a timeout, of course.
Let's head back over to game 5 then. We'll go back to Niagara Falls. They're in Lancaster taking on the Legends. They're down 7-0. So from the snap, go ahead. Try to run it up to the left side, and great defense by Lancaster. Quick one-on-one wrap-up tackling.
Another scoring update. Portville leading Falconer, Cassadaga Valley, Maple Grove, 12-7. That one in the second quarter. Portville again, 12-7. They lead Falconer. And then I don't know if we had this yet, but Williamsville South officially up 28-0 over Lakeshore. That one midway through the second quarter.
And then a scoring update for Fredonia. They're taking on Chautauqua Lake. Donovan Dowdy got a touchdown pass to Colin Luce. They got the 2-point conversion, and Fredonia's down 14-8.
Oh, their camera isn't working for a second. So why don't we head to 4.
And I think West Seneca East got in. So the Trojans able to punch it in for 6. They're now up 12-7 with 5:34 to go in the first half. This is the one thing about this Niagara Falls team. It's even though the score says one thing, they're very resilient.
Yeah.
They're shown to be a really, really tough team to go up against. Even though they haven't been able to capitalize on some of these drives in this game, now they have another opportunity, though, with a chance to tie it, but they got to get in the end zone. This is a 3rd and goal. Just need 2 yards to get in for 6. Try to go for the toss play. And I think they just dove on it. Niagara Falls keeps the ball, but it's going to be 4th and goal.
All right, looks like this was the 2-point play, ends in disaster for the Trojans. So they only remain up 12-7. It looks like they missed both of their 2-point conversions, so they lead this one 12-7 over South Park. That one in the second quarter. All right, let's head to game 3. That's Wilson-Randolph. Looks like Randolph with the ball inside the red zone. Snap, handoff up the middle. That is stopped right away.
Now we're going to head back to Niagara Falls, Lancaster. Taylor trying to find someone. Going to roll out to his left side, trying to find a receiver. Tries to zip it in, but it's incomplete. Another 4th down goal line stop by Lancaster.
Yeah, second in a row, you can say, Jake.
Yes.
Second in a row by that Lancaster defense. So they hold strong. Head back to 3. 2nd and about 11 for Randolph. After that stop you just saw, 2 minutes to go in this first half. Oh, and we just went.
Yep, sorry. Erie and St. Francis just had a big play, so now they're in the red zone. This is the out-of-state matchup, St. Francis and Erie, Pennsylvania, that take on the Erie Royals. As you see on the scoreboard, they're up big. They're 37-6, and they're back in the red zone, but we'll quickly head back here to Wilson.
Looks like that must have been a pass that went incomplete, so it's about 3rd and 11 here. And a timeout. When we head back to St. Francis. Buttles has it. Looks, tries to take off. Now he's going right. Stops. Looks towards the corner of the end zone.
Oh, did he get it?
Touchdown.
Oh, touchdown. Penalty marker, though. We'll see who this is on. And it's an eligible man downfield on this offense. Francis, I know that we got a lot of stuff going on, but when you get an opportunity, when we get a break, I want you to look up this stadium. It's Erie Veterans Memorial Stadium. I just want you to look at just how it's designed, considering I believe it's behind the high school. It just looks incredible. Like when you think of high school football or like a high school football venue, that's exactly what I want to see. But we're going to go ahead and go to 5 here as Lancaster. How about this? Look, in a couple of plays, just had a huge run, and now they're in the red zone.
All right, when we head back to game number 3, and it looks like 4th and 11 for Randolph. Trying to see if that was the end of the 3rd down play or 4th down play we just saw. I think that was the end of. That was a 3rd down play. So 4th and 11 for Randolph, down 14-0, 1:48 to go in the first half, trying to get a score on before they head into the locker room. Keep an eye, Williamsville East on the doorstep of the red zone. They may have just gotten in there, but we're going to stick with this 4th down play in Wilson.
From the snap, trying to throw this one to the left side, and it's going to be incomplete.
So we complete. Randolph turns it over on downs. We'll head to game number 5. Oh, we're going to head to game number 5. Lancaster has it. Looks like it's 2nd and 7. Not quite goal to go yet. Why don't we check in game number 2? It's Williams 8-0 still Grand Island. Run up the middle there by Williamsville East.
That was Kyrie Smith on the run. Great tackling, though, by Grand Island. Met him up right away. Some pauses in the action for some of the teams. West Seneca East in huddle with their team. Lancaster trying to look over what they want to do. They're up 7-0 on Niagara Falls, trying to extend that lead. As you get a penalty marker in this one.
We had to game number 8. And it looks like...
Looked like that might have been a turnover on downs.
It looked like St. Francis was trying to kick a field goal, but I don't have a signal here.
Oh, they did, yeah.
They did.
So, okay, so it was a 4th down. St. Francis kicks a field goal. They're up 40-6 with 9:15 to go in the third.
All right, we're heading back to game 2. Williamsville East. Throw to the left side.
Has his man. Oh, did he get it? Oh, what a touchdown.
Oh, they called it a touchdown.
What a catch. Far corner of the end zone. Anthony Martis showing that gunslinger mentality, finding his man for 6.
Depew is up 16-13. They just scored. Is it 16-13? Okay. 16-13 over Easter Holland. That went in the second quarter. Another scoring update. Southwestern Frewsburg 28-0. They lead over Salamanca right now. That one's still in the first quarter.
Scoring update. Chautauqua Lake is now up on Fredonia 21-8.
Is that in the first or second quarter?
I mean, my guess would be the second quarter.
And Lancaster just scored. They're going to be up 13-0 pending the extra point. 6:57 to go in the second quarter.
Scoring update between Will South and Lake Shore, which we're at right now. Will South, once again, piling it on. Our own Frank Wolf's also that game, too. It's about 3:06 to go in the second quarter. They're up on Lake Shore 35-0. As you see the touchdown there, just waiting on the PAT attempt for Will South. It's nothing but dominance from the Billies tonight. That snaps down, kicks on the way, and the PAT is good. We're going to transition over to 7 here. I'll tell you what, how about this East Aurora team? Making a statement here on the road against Depew. Up 13-6 on the Wildcats, looking to tack on even more. Just over 4 to go in the first half. By the way, that touchdown by Lancaster was from King to Colton Schaefer. It was a 13-yard touchdown pass. They didn't get the PAT, but Lancaster's up on Niagara Falls 13-0. 6:57 to go in the second quarter.
Looks like there's a flag on that play after the play. Why don't we check, though, on our live scoreboard, Evan, if we can do a quick refresh. We haven't checked that since these games have started. We do have some updates on there right now. You can check out live scoreboard, which is presented by Western Division. Western Division, home of the great rate. Some games that we haven't been specifically following. Iroquois is up 14-6 over Albion. Southwestern Frewsburg 28-0 over Salamanca. West Seneca West. I want to double check on this. Now it's 10-7. No other update leading Niagara Wheatfield, so that's a close one out at West Seneca West. Some other games. Portville 12-0 over Falconer. Chautauqua Lake 21-8 over Fredonia. And then I want to check in. It's now 28-3 28-14. I'm sorry. Canisius leads Steubenville, Ohio, and then St. Francis, which we got to get on your screen eventually. We've been following them as well. But those are a look at some of the games going on. If there are any games that you're at that we don't have updated, send it to us. We're going to head to game number 7 right now, where East Aurora, 3rd and goal. They're up 13-6. They're looking for another score. It's sorry. 16.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. You're good. Okay, so Depew's up on East Aurora Holland. Oh, he threw that behind. That's a fumble. Is that not it? I don't know about that one. I don't know. The quarterback threw that. That looked like it was behind. Oh, the coaching staff for Depew is not happy. They thought that was a fumble because the quarterback, the way he motioned that, looked like he threw it behind him. It didn't go forward, but they're going to say it was an incomplete pass, and that Depew coaching staff is not happy by that call. So this technically gives East Aurora Holland another shot here. Now 4th and goal with a chance to possibly score. We'll go ahead and move over to game 1. Clarence against Kenmore West. Ken West trying to make a statement, take the goose egg off the board. They're in the red zone right now.
A big run to the right side for Kenmore West. Getting about 2.5 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Seeing what's going on with some of the other games happening from our Octobox. But as for Ken West, they're quickly showing up shotgun formation, showing 4 wide receivers.
I want to check it on game number 3. I think Wilson might have scored again. Yeah, it's 21-0. The Lakemen lead that one. 43 seconds to go in the second quarter. We'll head back to 1.
I'm sorry. It looks like we might have some technical difficulties with that game. So we'll go ahead and go to 5 here. So Niagara Falls, once again, another chance to try to do something on their drive. They're now down by 2 scores. They're going to show 4 wide receivers from the snap. Deep downfield. Tries to get a man, but it falls incomplete.
Star Point is up 21-0 over Cheektowaga right now. I'm assuming that one's got to be in the second quarter.
We apologize for those technical difficulties that they're having. Looks like they still might be having them.
All right, when we head back to game 2. That one's still 8-7. 15 seconds left to go in the half. Let's head to game 4. 2:11 to go. West Seneca East with the ball up 12-7. They're on the 26.
Yeah, it looks like maybe 26-yard line. Looks like we got to go to 5. I think Niagara Falls once again. Can it happen again? could Lancaster make a possible another stop, or is Niagara Falls be like, no, we've had enough of this. We're gonna punch this in. This is another chance for this Wolverines team to try to get the goose egg off the board, try to get some scoring before the end of the half.
Looks like it's 1st and goal for the Falls.
They just need 3 yards to punch it in.
They've had some miscues on this end, which has cost them penalties.
So from the snap, fake the rolling out to the left, spins, now has a man wide open.
Oh.
The defense forgot about him, and Niagara Falls gets their first touchdown of the night. But there is a penalty marker, so it might negate it.
I thought maybe that was going to be a late hit on the QB. Taylor kind of took a shot there.
No, it's on Niagara Falls.
Targeting on Niagara Falls?
Oh, it's on Lancaster. Well, he pointed Niagara Falls. He pointed Niagara Falls, though. That's what I was so confused about. Oh, so this might be. So we're being told it might be offsetting penalties. Maybe. I think the refs are gonna. I think the officials are gonna have a discussion
So
here.
it's cut off on our end, Evan. Did they change the score for Niagara Falls? Okay, so it's still 13-0 on the scoreboard. But it kind of looks like Niagara Falls is running for an extra point, Jake.
They are, because obviously they thought they scored a touchdown, but
all right, when we head to game number 1 real quick, while we wait on this. First and goal for the Blue Devils. Snap up the middle. And touchdown, Kenmore West. They get a goose egg off the board looking to tie. Let's head back to 5. Still no score change yet.
I think they're still.
They have.
That must have been offsetting penalties then.
Okay, yeah, because it's still first and goal to go from the 3. So they didn't move the yardage.
We might get the. I think they might have been offsetting penalties.
Okay.
So Niagara Falls has not scored yet. Just needing 3 more yards. They take the snap. Feeling the pressure right away. Trying to throw it. And it's going to be incomplete.
Kenmore West did miss on their 2-point conversion try, so that game remains 7-6 right now.
And I think Lancaster is going to call timeout.
All right, another scoring update. Hamburg up 18-0 over Amherst. That game is officially at halftime.
Oh, here's a scoring update here. Take a look. Orchard Park is up on Sweet Home 23-0 in the second quarter.
Our East Aurora leads now 19-16 over Depew. That one's been seesaw. Why don't we head over to Game 6, where it's Lakeshore trying to look for their first points of the game, down 35-0. QB looks, and he's sacked. That went in the second quarter. I want to say 5 minutes to go. Okay, about 5 minutes to go in that one. Will South 35-0. Interesting note here. Why don't we head to actually 4 first, where West Seneca East is on the doorstep. They wanted a third score of the game. Snap. Toss to the right. And he's still moving, Jake. And a touchdown.
So West Seneca East just now extended their lead with 21 seconds to go in the first half. They're up 18-7.
The West Seneca East getting in under the wire. Let's head back to 5. Did they call that a touchdown for Niagara Falls? They finally got in. So 4:10 to go in the second quarter. Niagara Falls finally gets on the board. 13-6. Lancaster leads pending this extra point from the Falls.
Scoring update between Chautauqua Lake and Fredonia. Chautauqua Lake extends their lead now 29-8. Braden Gibbs already 4 passing touchdowns on the night so far, and they're not even done with the first half.
All right, Evan, I know because our screen was gone. Do we have any other games in the red zone? Okay. 6. All right, why don't we head over to 6? Another scoring update. Actually, it looks like Williamsville South just scored. Or sorry, they just hit halftime, so 35-0 at half. Scoring update from the other side of West Seneca. The Warhawks lead Niagara Wheatfield 17-7, 1:29 to go in the second quarter there. Another scoring update, Falconer now leads Portville 13-12. That's late in the second quarter. Grand Island and Williams-Lease has officially hit the halftime point. All right. If that's the case, why don't we take a short? I know. All right. That note, why don't we take a very short break, maybe about a minute? We'll get our scoreboard up to date, and we'll bring that up because, folks, I know you're clamoring for the scores all around Section 6 as well. So after this play, we will go to break, and then we'll have a live look at your scoreboard after this.
Right now, Depew with 43 seconds left, trying to take a shot downfield. Had a man, and it's incomplete, but a penalty marker comes flying in with 39 seconds left. It's going to be on East Aurora Holland's defense.
Just as we were trying to go to break, Jake, they do this to us.
I know. Very curious to see what was going to happen here. But a nice back and forth battle between both these teams, and this game means a lot to Depew in terms of the standings.
Yeah, it certainly does. They want to stay in that top 4 area of the Class B2, and if they try to maybe still sneak up to 2 seed and get themselves a home playoff game.
So out of the shotgun formation, showing 4 wide receivers with one man motioning the snap and the quick catch here towards that left hash, and then we'll get stopped inside the 10. That clock ticking away.
Actually, it just stopped. Timeout. That stops the clock. Can we take a 30-second timeout while we're waiting, Evan? All right, we only have a minute, so we'll hold on here. Why don't we take a look at our scoreboard? I don't know if it's fully up to date, but I think I got most of our updates in. Do we need to do a refresh? Okay, so let's look. I think we got all of them in, Jake, the ones I was hearing. Will South 35-0 at the half. Wilson 21-0. I think that one might have gone to half already. Southwestern Frewsburg, they lead Salamanca 28-0. Falconer, that's a close one there, 13-12 over Portville. Hamburg 18-0 at the half. Hamburg's had 2 safeties so far against Amherst. Starpoint 21-0 over Cheektowaga. Let's me check in on that Canisius game. It's now 34-21. Canisius leads Steubenville, Ohio. So that's a look at your scoreboard, live scoreboard, brought to you by Western Division. Western Division, home of the Great Rate. Why don't we head back to Depew, where the Wildcats have it. First and goal from the 10. Handoff up the middle. Coming through.
Keep that pile moving.
Yes.
They got it stopped, though. Looks like it around the 5-yard line. And another timeout called by Depew. This game between Depew taking on East Aurora Holland is brought to you by Binghamton University. Also want to thank some other sponsors today. Pathfinder College Planning, 510 Toy Shop and Sports Cards, the Mental Match with Sam Recco, Canisius High School, St. Joseph's Collegiate Institute, St. Francis High School, Trench Trophy, recognizing the top linemen in Western New York, and then Lewis & Lewis PC, located at 37 Franklin Street in Buffalo. Right now, we just got a timeout between Depew and East Aurora Holland. Try to find a way to squeeze in a break, but Depew's like, no, we want more action here. We're going to give you guys more action. We have a chance to, possibly put more points up.
We want to thank all you for tuning in so far right now on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, or X as they call it nowadays.
I'll still say Twitter.
If you're having fun, please share this, whatever you're watching on. with your friends on your social media page. But there's a fumble. Oh, he stayed in bounds. So 13.1 to go. It looks like there was another timeout called.
I'll tell you what, give credit to East Aurora Holland for a big defensive play to make sure they stayed in bounds. Griffin Hody, the senior, with a big tackle to make sure he did not get in the end zone.
All right, Lancaster leads Niagara Falls 21-6. Update just coming in now. All right, when we head to game number 8, that's St. Francis and Erie, PA. Looked like St. Francis just scored, so it's now 46-6. They lead Erie, PA, out of Pennsylvania. Actually, well, that was the PA was implied. And running clock, you can see, is going.
We're going to move back over to the Depew East Aurora Holland game. Depew looking to extend their lead before the end of the half. Play action pass, trying to find a man, corner of the end zone, and that will fall incomplete. Clock stopping with just under 7 to go in that one.
All right, West Seneca West with the ball right now. They lead Niagara Wakefield 17-7. It looks like it's going to be 4th and long for the Warhawks on the Niagara Wakefield end, trying to get another score in before the half ends.
See, this is fourth and goal. And this one, just needing 3 yards. How many of those have we had so far? I think 4, right?
Yeah, at least 3.
From the snap, going to run it in. No goal line stance this time. Depew punches it in for 6 with just under 4 seconds to go in the first half.
Yeah. Well, after this, we'll take a 2-minute break, have a chance to catch our breath, and then why did they have to take a timeout here, Jake? But after this, they take a timeout on us, of course. So we'll take a timeout. We'll be right back on the Empire State End Zone.
At Richmond Vona, we are seriously dedicated to bettering the communities that we serve. If you put your trust in us and hire us, we promise to take care of everything. Call us as soon as possible so we can start the investigation to fight to get you the settlement you deserve.
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
Wing nuts. You still got to go.
Have you guys tried Room 40 yet?
Looking for the perfect spot to throw your next party? Say hello to Room 40, our private event space at both Wingnuts locations. Maybe you got a birthday, a graduation, anniversary, business event, rehearsal dinner, or even a sports banquet. From intimate get-togethers to rowdy celebrations, Room 40 is built to handle it all and fits up to 60 guests. With custom food and drink packages, flexible setups, legendary Wingnuts hospitality, and all the wings you can handle. If you're planning a celebration or get-together in Buffalo, this is where the party's at. Local vibes, zero stress, all fun. Book Room 40 today and throw a party Buffalo won't forget. Hit the link in our bio or visit wingnutsbuffalo.com/room40 to book now.
All right, well,
I'll go if you go to Wingnuts. Deal.
All right, guys, welcome back, everyone, to Week 6 of the Empire State End Zone. My name's Jacob Flack. Alongside me is Francis Beck. And Francis, some really fun games we've had so far, especially on the defensive side of things. We've had some really good goal line stances, some good interceptions being made by respective teams' defenses, and some really good competitive football so far.
Yeah, Niagara Falls, they're still fighting against Lancaster. Sounded the same deal as last week, struggling but continuing to fight. We're seeing some close games, some blowouts we didn't quite expect, and it's been a fun Week 6.
Yeah, and then sometimes that's the way it goes in football. Expect the unexpected. We always hear every given Sunday, every given Friday night when it comes to the high school level, there's always teams that you expect to do pretty well that might underperform, and vice versa. You expect teams that you don't think are going to have, a good game against some opponents they face throughout the year, and they might, they definitely, I would say, are unexpected in terms of like what you would expect from other teams. So it, been a pretty good games we've seen so far.
Yeah, and while most of these games right now are at half, but we should mention tomorrow on Western New York Athletics, it's going to be ECC football live at noon. They're going to be taking on Nassau Community College. A lot of Western New York high school alumni on there. Noel Willoughby, Cameron Warburton, Sammy from Lackawanna, who I can't pronounce.
Sammy Ikegwonu.
Yeah, you and Tom can pronounce their names. Joe Kraus can too, but I can't. But yeah, he's on that team, so that'll be fun. That's noon right here on Western New York Athletics. You're looking for some good local football tomorrow, you can catch that. But again, a lot of these games right now are still at half. I'm trying to see if there's one. Why don't we head to game number 8, where I think they're still finishing up the first half. We switched this one. This was originally the St. Francis game, which I believe is almost over now. It's now West Seneca West and Niagara Wakefield. It's still 17-7, 5 seconds to go in this one. I think Niagara Wakefield, or actually it's the clock's running out as the AI camera that we have no control over decides to move over to the speaker. Oh, is it doing a 360? It's halftime, so it's doing a 360 on us.
If it did a 360, I don't think we'll have this camera anymore. If it did a full 360.
All right, we'll head to Lancaster right now.
Oh, how about this? Lancaster extending the lead. Was that 28-6? 28-12. Okay, so Niagara Falls did score, and then Lancaster able to respond right back. But some quick scoring between both these teams.
28-13, 12, and this one's still in the second quarter, right?
Yeah, we have our screen here in our studios where the scoreboard at times is going to be cut off from we transition from one game to the next. And Lancaster, he's able to get the pass off though. Try to cut it to the outside. Penalty marker's down. As we see a penalty marker down with a blindside block.
This game here brought to you by SUNY Cortland. SUNY Cortland stands out as one of New York's top public universities, a medium-sized school that offers academic strength across 68 majors, a high quality of student life, and a degree that pays back graduates. Visit www.cortland.edu to schedule a visit today.
I think we're going to try and take a look at what happened on this play. Yeah, that was a mean hit there. and definitely unnecessary. So that's why the flag was thrown.
Jake, a scoring update. This one a little closer than I thought it would be out at Sparky Adams Field. The Max leading Ken Maurice 14-7 at the half. The Max, of course, coming off that tough loss last Saturday to Health Sciences. Ken Maurice had that Thursday night win last week on a last-second field goal over Hamburg. So a little momentum for the Bulldogs, and the Max starting a little slow in a game that they should win by a couple touchdowns. Right now they only lead by 1, but let's head back to game number 2. Finally in the second half, we have Grand Island starting with the ball up 8-7 over Williams-Willis. Big Class A2 battle. Snap, handoff up the middle. Looks like they're going to go about 4 yards Grand Island. This game number 2 is brought to you by Richmond Vona LLC. They have the skills and experience needed to handle a full range of car accident claims, including those with multiple parties and catastrophic injuries. Call 716-671-4341 for your free consultation today, or visit richmondvona.com. We want to again thank our sponsors tonight, all of our sponsors, including some other ones that we'll get to right after this play. So,
Grand Island showing 3 wide receivers, 2 to the right, 1 to the left, but it's going to be a QB draw play moving up towards the right, along the right hash, and it's Mantione once again able to help his team get into Williamsville East territory.
Susan, we're still waiting to hear on a new Fane score. We wanted to do, we're still waiting to hear on a new Fane score. Was that one of our original? Trying to see if we have. All right, we're going to get the new Fane score in just a little bit. Our producer, Evan, is going to work on that. So, Susan, 43-0 new Fane. So, good news for Susan Hutton out there. They lead this one. They lead. Who are they facing again, Evan? They're facing Allegheny Limestone. That one in the third quarter, 44-0. So, Grand Island, you saw just get the first down. Handoff up the middle. Oh, that's a nice gain, Jake.
That's
and first down for the Vikings.
It's Dominic Nucci, their main tailback, trusting his blocking and able to push forward and keep this drive going. Right now, this game and the Niagara Falls-Lancaster game, the only two going on. Looks like West Seneca East and South Park, they're warming up, getting ready for the second half soon.
Do we want to check on game number on Lancaster, Niagara Falls? Let's check there for a split second. Looks like, Niagara Falls has the ball on their own end.
Moving back and back and back.
All right, so we'll head back to game number 2. Snap. QB keeps it to the right side. He's got a big hole. And another first down for the Vikings. 9:44 to go in this first quarter. First drive of the third quarter. First drive of the second half for either team. The Vikings lead 8-7 on the doorstep of the red zone.
And that right interior side of the O-line for Grand Island just doing a phenomenal job.
All right, big play here for Niagara Falls up that left side. This one still in the first half, so Niagara Falls down 2 scorers, trying to see if they can add another before the clock runs out. Head back to game number 2. And it looks like a Williams-Elise defender jumped. So extra 5 yards for Grand Island. We'll set up 1st and 5, 9:11 to go in this third quarter. Head back. Why don't we check? It looks like there's a timeout at Lancaster, so we'll stick here. All of our other games are in halftime. A lot of games really Western New York are at halftime as we are at 8:20 right now, approaching that 8:30 hour. Handoff. Running back cuts to the left side. Looks like he's got a couple yards, Jake, going to set up a 2nd and short. Canisius up 34-28 right now.
What did we hit the score of that McKinley game?
14-7 last we saw at half.
Okay, so we just got an update. They're playing Ken East, right?
Yeah, Ken East.
McKinley extended that lead. They're now up 28-7 at the half.
Wow. I'm gonna keep an eye on this Canisius game. They're up 34-28, a one-score game in the fourth quarter over Steubenville, Ohio.
Oh, Steubenville came back.
Yeah, Steubenville came back. But we'll stay here with Grand Island. Looks like Grand Island take a penalty there, Jake.
Didn't see there firsthand what happened. So for Grand Island, showing 3 wide receivers. Going to use the toss play, though, over to Nucci, who hurdles a man and gets hit at the same time as he lands. Brought down at the 15-yard line, and it's another Vikings first down. We're going to go ahead and transition over to Game 5, where Niagara Falls, Francis, is not done of this game yet. They're able to punch it in for another touchdown. We're going to go ahead and take a look at this, a replay of what may have happened here. So they showed 4 wide receivers out of the shotgun formation with 40 seconds to go. Took a deep pass right towards the middle of the field and then went, looked like, sorry, that was actually the draw play. So we might have the other play coming up next. So the Wolverines still using that 4 wide receiver set. Trips to the right. Took a deep shot downfield. That was caught at around the 20 and taking it all the way to the end zone. 4-6 with less than 30 to go in the first half.
So 28-20, Lancaster now leads with 25 seconds left to go in the second half. Let's head back to Williams-Elise, where it looks like the Vikings just scored. The Vikings score, gets 6, and have they tried for 2 yet, or they were just stopped for 2, so it'll remain 14-7, 6:59 to go in the third quarter. All right, so yeah, we'll stick with this game number 2. Is anything else going on? Okay, we're trying to work on some games. Let's head over to Randolph Wilson. That one can now be in the second half. Like it's Randolph. Oh, penalty is called. Randolph is inside the red zone, down 21-0 in the, looks like 8:28 to go in the third quarter.
This game's brought to you by Logistics Plus Buffalo. For all your transportation needs, full truckload, LTL, dedicated, and drop trailer moves, Logistics Plus Buffalo is a one-stop shop. Email buffalo@logisticsplus.com for your next shipment or warehousing needs. Let's see what Randolph tries to do here. They're down 21-0 on Wilson. So snap. Trying to go downfield, but it's incomplete.
All right, 42-0 Southwestern leads Salamanca at the half.
I'm going to go ahead and go to the game that our own Western New York Athletics is at on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Looks like there was a big play, but it's going to get called back due to a penalty. Clarence and Ken West. This game's brought to you by Damon University. Damon University is a private, non-sectarian university in Amherst offering undergraduate and graduate level degrees. Visit damon.edu to schedule a tour today.
Lancaster Niagara Falls officially goes to half. Looks now it's 4th and about 15 for Randolph from the Wilson 20. They need to get about 50. They don't have to score, but they're pretty close to the end zone. They want to get a score here. Yeah. Jake, I think this is must-score territory if you're Randolph. Down 3 scores, middle of the third quarter.
Absolutely. This is your chance here where you got to pick up the first. Snap. Randolph feeling the pressure right away. Fires one deep downfield. It gets tipped, and it will fall incomplete. Nice defensive stance by Wilson. Turnover on downs. They take over. Some of our sponsors you want to thank tonight: Pathfinder College Planning, 510 Toy Shop and Sports Cards, The Mental Match with Sam Brecco, Canisius High School, St. Joseph's Collegiate Institute, St. Francis High School, Trench Trophy, recognizing the top linemen in Western New York, and then Lewis & Lewis PC, located at 37 Franklin Street in Buffalo.
All right, can we check game? Oh, we're going to go to game number 2. Can we check on game number 6, Will South Lakeshore? That one should be in the second half now. It looks like it's still 35-0, about 10 minutes to go in the third. So that one starting just recently. Looks like it's 4th down for Lakeshore, who has the ball on the Will South. We'll call that 43. Leaves of South really cruising in this one, looking for another stop to start this second half.
And then we had another big game in Class B1 that we're highlighting: West Seneca East against South Park. West Seneca East, South Park were battling early in the first quarter, but the Trojans were able to pull away at the end of the first half. Could they keep their momentum going? But Lakeshore, big 4th down play here. Hazard feeling the pressure, and he is going to go down and is sacked on the play. Looked like that was number 71 for Williamsville South, Ben Zmanowski. Apologies on the mispronunciation there, but he comes in with the big sack. This game's brought to you by G&G. G&G Fitness Equipment is a full-service provider of specialty home and commercial fitness equipment. With locations in Buffalo, Rochester, and Syracuse, visit livefit.com as Will South takes over at the midfield marker.
Handoff up the middle, Williamsville South. And it's going to go and collect 9 yards to start the drive for them, under 10 minutes to go. We'll head to game number 7. That's East Aurora Holland and Depew. And that's the one where it's cut off, Evan. 24-19 Depew leads. They are driving 9.5 minutes to go in the third. Oh, nice run up the middle. Knocks down the defender and is going to be close to the first down. Looks like they need to get to about the 4.5-yard line to set up 1st and goal.
Do we have an update on the Orchard Park game?
We haven't gotten the Orchard Park.
So, I saw it was 44-0 at half. I don't know if that was a... Final from Erie, St. Francis won 46-6.
First final of the night. As
this game's 24-14?
24-14. No, 24-19. I'm sorry, Jake. Go ahead.
This
Evan.
is 19?
Yeah. Go ahead, Evan. What were you going to say?
Okay, it's cut off. Okay, I see it.
That is actually a score we needed. So 35-0 Eden North Collins. They lead O'Hara third quarter.
What a big defensive play by East Aurora Holland on 3rd down. believe that was number 7. Take a look at who that was for East Aurora Holland on the big play. Griffin Howdy, the senior, once again making some good plays on defense.
Still in the fourth quarter, Jake. Canisius up 34-18 over Steubenville, but Steubenville right now has the ball in the red zone. No time on the screen of how much is left in that one, but a close one there that I'll be keeping an eye on. What down is this? This is 4th and 5 for Depew.
So from the shotgun formation, the snap, looking, trying to find a person, incomplete, no flags, and what a huge defensive stop by East Aurora Holland. Emmett Merrick, the senior, on the coverage with a huge defensive play, another turnover on downs, and another big defensive stop on the red zone.
All right, we'll head over to game number 1. 4th and 7. It looks like Clarence is going to punt the ball away with a 7-6 lead over Kenmore West. 6:20 to go in the third quarter. Big A1 battle. Let's see this. Oh,
wow. What a big punt return. Going past the 40 and down at the 42.
That's the original line of scrimmage of the play, Jake.
That's a phenomenal.
Very close to it.
That's a phenomenal punt return by Kenmore West. They're down 7-6 to Clarence.
So the Blue Devils looking for an upset on the Red Devils right now.
Yeah, Blue Devils versus Red Devils.
I just made that connection in my head. That's what
I
kind of
did
threw
too.
me off.
Literally like 10 seconds ago. I'm like, wait a second. So Ken West on this drive, pass is caught. Looking to try to gain some forward progress. He's able to move forward past the 45 and will be brought down to Ken West zone 47, maybe 48.
Which one? I'm sorry. Yeah, we have Silver Creek. So 21-6. Silver Creek Forest. Bill leads Cattaraugus Little Valley. That one in the third quarter. Dunkirk Olean.
Is it at Dunkirk?
It is at Olean. How about James? What about Jamestown Hutchchuck? That game should be that game's at Riverside, so there should be a camera there. It was not on for Hutchchuck.
Well, Jamestown might have it. They might be updating it on Twitter.
That they could be. What about JFK and Barker? We've got any Gowanda? Oh wait, you had a Gowanda, and I forgot to put it down. Wasn't that 44-0? Oh, pass there caught by Kenmore West. That was a third down play. We'll see what the yardage in that were there, what down that'll set up. 1st and 10 coming up. What was that? Gowanda was playing Franklinville, a game at Gowanda. You go check back in with Depew, East Aurora. Did we say did Depew just score on the last time we had them up? They were stuffed, so it's still 24-19 there. All right. Why don't we take a look? Can we take a look at our live scoreboard, Evan? Might do a quick refresh. I don't know if this is completely up to date because I'm trying to update it while talking here. We usually have a fourth person to handle the scoreboard, but a little short staffed tonight. You can see our Western Division Empire State Live scoreboard. Western Division, home of the Great Rate. You can see right now Pioneer 42-8 over Lewiston Porter. Just trying to pick out some games that we're not following closely. 35-6 Iroquois leads Albion at the half. Trying to see some other ones. Right now, we said 44-0 Orchard Park over Sweet Home at the half. That was our last update. I think I missed a score. I think it's now 7. That one's at the half. West Seneca West, 17-7. Started back up. That one's in the second half already. Hamburg 25-0 over Amherst. That was in the fourth quarter. So you can kind of see those. McKinley, Ken Maurice kind of close. So we'll keep an eye on that throughout the night. I want to check, though. I want to see what's going on with Canisius. I had that up here. So,
we got to head over to game 2. So this is Will East against Grand Island. Martyrs trying to get a pass off. It looked like that may have got deflected and falls incomplete. Now bring up a third down.
All right, Williams 42-0 Williamsville South. They just score.
And what was the Canisius score?
34-28. Steubenville inside the 5. I think I just send. Yeah, I think I sent it to you. That was the West Seneca West second. That was sent at 8:22 to you or my email. Problem with that one is there's no time on the clock there. But a snap there for Williamsville East. Throw was kind of high tipped. Jake, that was nearly intercepted.
It was. Luckily, that ball fell to the turf. So, yeah, that live scoreboard, I think we had 21-14 Canisius. So you're saying 34-28?
Yeah, 30.
Canisius. So, folks, we're going to try and get the Canisius-Steubenville game. Right now, Canisius up 34-28, but it looks like their opponents are going down the field with a chance to score. But for Will East here, they're up 14. They're down 14-7. Looking to try and tie one up. Martis has a man. Looked like that might have fell behind. It was incomplete, and it was on 4th down, so a turnover on downs for the Flames.
52 seconds to go. Grand Island's going to get the ball in the third. With 50 seconds to go in the third quarter. We'll head to game number 1. That's Kenmore West and Clarence. Kenmore West looks like it's 2nd and goal from around the 13, trying to take the lead late in the third quarter. Snap. Rolls to his left. QB. Now he's going to his right. He's going to try to take it himself. He'll get a couple yards to about the 8, set up 3rd and goal. All right, let's head to... Oh, and it's a touchdown for Steubenville. They just score.
Oh, and they're celebrating very, very big on this touchdown.
That ties things up in the fourth quarter. Again, we don't know the time in this one. That's not provided. This is from a website out in Ohio. So looks like we do have an injured Steubenville player. Why don't we head back to what's going on why don't we head back to 1? Kenmore West 3rd and goal. Snap. QB looks to his left. He's going to go to his right. He's going to throw across his body. That one incomplete. Just tried to get rid of it. It's going to set up 4th and goal. Must score situation for Kenmore West. Why don't we head back to Steubenville? See what's going to go on.
Looks like they might have called timeout. But very curious to how much time's left in this one. I don't know if there's got a scoreboard somewhere. Maybe that camera pans to and we can take a look. So right now, Steubenville just going to go for the PAT here. Go ahead and try to go up 35-34. Here's a snap. Kicks on the way, and that PAT is good. And it's not 345-34 what it originally said. It's 35-34 in the fourth quarter.
We'll see if anyone from Canisius is tweeting out time. All right, so Kenmore West just kicked a field goal. They now lead 9-7. Kind of a score, not scoregami, but that's not a score you see very often in high school sports. But they lead Clarence 9-7. That one's still in the third quarter, right? Late in the third quarter in that one. A big Class A1 battle.
Big advantage there for West Seneca West as over Steubenville. I'll have to take a look at that. But why don't we do this here real quick? Why don't we go to the Octobox here to show a lot of the games that are in action right now. I know we've had a couple of games that we substitute out. West Seneca West game is in there. Canisius Steubenville game's in there. St. Francis game went final. They won 46-6. The Will South game against Lakeshore was a blowout. They were up, I believe it was 42-0 last time we checked. So we wanted to, get this Canisius game in. They were up by double digits at one point, Francis, but Steubenville comes back and now takes the lead.
Yeah, they take the lead in that one. See what we haven't checked in game number 5 in a little bit. Looks like second half has just started. Opening drive, Niagara Falls driving. Is this a one-score game, Evan? 8-point lead right now for Lancaster, 28-20. Scoring update from Riverside. Jamestown, 40-7. They lead Hutch Tech. That's the red and green, up 40-7 over Hutch Tech. A big double-A battle with about 2 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Well, here's a hook and ladder play by Canisius. They just try to do a hook and ladder, try to get it across to be around the 25-yard line. Just a little bit more information about the Steubenville team. Nicknames the Big Red. It looks like they have a horse as like their logo/mascot out of Steubenville, Ohio. According to MaxPress.com, they're ranked 55th in the state.
All right, we're going to Will East right now. Right. It looks like there was a turnover. All right, let's head back.
Pass here's caught. Oh, another lateral by Canisius, and they'll move it forward to the 42, but that looks like to be the ball game as you see the reaction from this one. Steubenville picking what looks like to be the victory over Canisius 35-34.
All right. We'll head to game number 2. Wow, it looks like a downed punt by Will East going to set up Grand Island at the 1. So great special teams for the Flames. We'll head to game number 5 where Niagara Falls continues to drive. First drive of the second half. Want to say 3rd and short, Evan? 3rd and 7.
3rd and 3. They just updated it. This game here between Niagara Falls and Lancaster is brought to you by SUNY Cortland. SUNY Cortland stands out as one of New York's top public universities, a medium-sized school that offers academic strength across 68 majors, a high quality of student life, and a degree that pays back graduates. Visit www.2.cortland.edu to schedule a visit today. As they'll take a run right up the gut. Looks like just short of the first down marker that could bring up fourth down.
Game 2. No, that was already in the fourth quarter, I think. Which, are you talking about game number 3, Evan? Let's go to game 2 real quick. I guess Williams-Elise just scored. Well, we'll have to go back and look at this.
So what we thought was a punt maybe a couple of minutes ago turned out to be a touchdown. We're going to see why. That gunslinger mentality in Anthony Martis, able to take it downfield for 6. There was a penalty marker on the play. That was pass interference on the defense of Grand Island. And Willis Grand Island all knotted up at 14.
All right, let's head to game number 3, fourth quarter starting in Wilson, up 21-7 over Randolph. Lakeman with the ball, second and about 10 on the Randolph side of the field. Toss to the right side. Running back goes up the middle, gets about 9 yards. So Wilson trying to close out this one and keep their undefeated season going to 6-0.
This game between Randolph and Wilson is brought to you by Logistics Plus Buffalo. For all your transportation needs, full truckload, LTL, dedicated, and drop trailer moves, Logistics Plus Buffalo is a one-stop shop. Email buffalo at logisticsplus.com for your next shipment or warehousing needs.
Trying to see if we had... What was our last update for Franklinville, Ellicottville? I have... did we have any updates from there? That's right. That was last we heard was 44-0 Gowanda in the third, I believe. We haven't. That was a little bit ago, so we might want to get another one coming up soon. As it appears, it's third down right now for the Lakemen, so we'll stick here. Although it looks like Clarence just got inside the red zone, so we'll check in there. Why don't we head over there right now, see what's going on.
Here's the scoring update here. Roy Hart Barker defeats JFK to move to 5-1 overall, 5-0 in Class C North. They beat JFK 46-24.
Looks like Kenmore West gets the ball inside their own end. So it looks like another goal line stand or defensive stop for the Blue Devils. When we head back to game number 3 between Randolph and Wilson. Penalty on Wilson brought them for a long fourth down. They get a couple yards, but looks like it'll be turnover on downs. Randolph will take over. When we check in game number 4, haven't been there in a while. It's West Seneca East and South Park. The Trojans leading this one 26-7 here in the third quarter.
A good stop there by South Park. They have to try and do something what they can as they're down by 19 points. This game between South Park and West Seneca East is brought to you by Wingnuts Buffalo, located near the Buffalo Airport at 4600 Genesee Street. Dine in or order for takeout. Open Monday through Sunday from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Visit wingnutsbuffalo.com.
All right, we're going to head to game number 5 with Lancaster and Niagara Falls. Still an 8-point game. Lancaster with the lead, 28-20. Now inside the red zone, trying to go to trying to make it a 2-score game.
2nd down and 1 at the 12-yard line. As that clock ticks away. I believe they're in the 3rd quarter. But up by 1 score, trying to extend it to make it a 2-score lead. As they get brought down, possibly the 5-yard line they might be at. I do apologize, this camera, this is Lancaster's huddle camera, so it can't zoom in yet. Well, they quickly go no huddle. They try to push it in the end zone. And it's going to be a touchdown, Lancaster. Quick no huddle after picking up the 1st down to make it a 1st and goal at the 6. They punch it in and now make it a 2-score lead. We're now transition back over to Wilson and Randolph. 10:08 to go in the 4th. Wilson up on Randolph 21-7.
We want to check in on game number 2 real quick. Looks like Williams-Eliste is driving once again. 6:53 to go, tied 14. They have the ball just outside the red zone. It's about the 23-yard line. So Flames trying to take the lead in this one. All right, 32-7 Hamburg leads over Amherst. That went in the 4th quarter. Handoff up the middle, and that is stopped for a short gain on 1st down. Let's head back over to 3, where it looks like it's another touchdown for the Lakemen. Oh, wait. Oh, they marked him short. 9:37 to go, but they did stop the clock there. Wonder if that was for a 1st down. Oh, the clock's now running.
Scoring update, Fredonia turned the ball over, and then Chautauqua Lake responded with a 3-yard passing touchdown from Gibbs to Asher Olson. Chautauqua Lake up on Fredonia 43-8.
That's in the 3rd quarter now?
Yeah, that's in the 3rd. Touchdown Wilson. QB sneak up the middle. And they now have extended this up 27-7 with a PAT on the way soon.
We're heading back to Williams-Eliste. Was there a turnover? There looks like there was a big play for East. Wow. So we're told apparently Williams-Eliste fumbled out of the back of the end zone. So that's a turnover. Grand Island gets the ball. So let's see if we can take a look at it in the 2nd and 10. This is a replay you're seeing. On 2nd and 10, a replay. The snap. QB, he rolled to his left. He threw it. It was caught. And he lost the ball at the 1, and it rolled out of the end zone. So Grand Island takes over on their 20. What a what a costly mistake there for the Flames.
That is so unfortunate.
Why don't we head to game number 8? That's West Seneca West. It looks like West Seneca West just scored. It looks like that's 30-7 late in the 3rd quarter, 1:58 to go. We know if Wilson converted on their extra point. Oh, that's games in the commercial, so we'll check in on that. Okay, so Lancaster did score, so it's 35-20. They lead Niagara Falls.
It's like to be a 3rd down and 8. Oh, excuse me. Yeah. Sorry for the confusion there. So Ken West having the ball, 3rd down and 8. They're going to show 4 wide receivers out of the shotgun formation. So from the snap, quick pass, caught, try to get some blocking he needs, goes ahead and picks up the 1st down and gets to Clarence territory. This game between Kenmore East and Clarence is brought to you by Damon. Damon University is a private, non-sectarian university in Amherst, New York, offering undergraduate and graduate level degrees. Visit damon.edu to schedule a tour today. Oh, looks like on that one might be coming back. So it was a holding on Ken West's offense. And what was a really promising drive, definitely going to hurt their drive here after that holding penalty.
Actually, let's head to game number 5. All right, looks like Niagara Falls with the ball around midfield. All right, Newfane wins their game 58-0 over Allegheny Limestone. They remain undefeated on the season.
We might have something going on in game 4 in the red zone area. So it looks like South Park's moving here. Just over 11 to go here. Now the clock ticking away. They're down 26-7.
They went in the 4th quarter. I'm trying to see. Do we check it in game number 8? Let's go to game number 8. Other side of West Seneca. 3rd quarter ending. Niagara Weakfield with the ball. 2nd and 10. Going way back on that one. Good play by the West Seneca West defense. We'll head back to East. Where did South Park score?
Thought they might have. They're signaling they did.
No signal from the Rush, though. Those are the ones that matter.
Now they just signal touchdown. So Sparks able to tack on some points. Now they're down 2 scores. We'll see what they try to do here for the 2-point try. This game here between South Park and West Seneca East brought to you by Wingnuts Buffalo, located near the Buffalo Airport at 4600 Genesee Street. Dine in or order for takeout. Open Monday through Sunday from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Visit wingnutsbuffalo.com.
Looks like South Park is going to go for 2. Joe Sacco is going to line up at quarterback. Sacco throws, and it's incomplete. So 26-13. West Seneca East leads. 10:23 to go in the 4th quarter. Can we get that scoring update again, Evan? Wait, Little Valley leads? 27-6,
Okay.
And that's in the 3rd or 4th in the 4th quarter.
Also want to thank some of our sponsors for tonight's game. Pathfinder College Planning, 510 Toy Shop and Sports Cards, The Mental Match with Sam Recco, Canisius High School, St. Joseph's Collegiate Institute, St. Francis High School, Trench Trophy, recognizing the top linemen in Western New York, Lewis & Lewis PC, located at 37 Franklin Street in Buffalo, and then Colvin Cleaners, West New York's premier Green Earth dry cleaner, dry cleaning, wash and fold laundry, shirts and tailoring, located 2375 Elmwood Avenue in Kenmore. Call 716-873-2952.
All right, Grand Island to punt. Punt returned. Yeah, go ahead, Evan. All right, Allegheny Limestone did score. And Eden North Collins gets the victory 35-7 over Cardinal O'Hara. That one is final.
I think we just had a big play between Clarence and Ken West. Clarence just took a deep shot downfield, or they're going to say now it's incomplete.
Actually, go to 2 real quick.
Oh, they're going to say an incomplete pass. Oh, here comes Will East. Comes Kyer Smith. And Kyer Smith is stopped inside the 10.
All right, let's head over to game number 4. We'll keep an eye on that as Williams-Elise enters the red zone. Looks like it's West Seneca East with the ball deep in their own end. So not South Park. We'll head to number 5. Game number 5, where Niagara Falls is in enemy territory. They're inside the red zone. Trying to get, it looks like going to be 3rd and 3 for the Wolverines, down 2 scores.
Go ahead and go back to game 2. Will East already breaking out, showing the shotgun formation. This game's all tied up in the 4th quarter, less than 3 minutes to go. So from the snap, looking for a man, for a block, and maybe just able to pick up a couple of yards, but we're going to go back to game 5.
3rd and 3 for the Wolverines. 1 minute to go in the 3rd quarter, down 2 scores. They badly need one here to stay in this one.
They got less than a minute to go. And no signal.
Oh, it's back.
Now it's back. Okay.
And it looks like...
Timeout Niagara Falls.
Was there a penalty?
I didn't see a flag.
I think they called... No, they called encroachment. I think they were offside on the offense. So that makes that play a lot tougher. We're keeping an eye on Will East Grand Island. There's a timeout there. We know Will East is inside the 10 in that one in a tie game.
Okay, yeah, so it was either offsides or false start on Niagara Falls offense. So now out of the shotgun, going to try to go downfield. And
they didn't make any kind of sign. I wonder if he's going to be down.
Well, they said incomplete.
Oh, they said incomplete.
So 4th down and 8. This game's brought to you by SUNY Cortland. SUNY Cortland stands out as one of New York's top public universities, a medium-sized school that offers academic strength across 68 majors, a high-quality student life, and a degree that pays back graduates. Visit www.2.cortland.edu to schedule a visit today.
All right, you just saw a run there by Williamsville East. I think it's going to set up 2nd and goal, or 3rd and goal. 3rd and goal for the Flames as they take another timeout. Why don't we head to game 1 where I see some action there. It looks like Clarence has the ball knocking on the doorstep of the red zone. 1:44 to go. 3rd and 2 for the Red Devils. Buckle your seats in, folks. Snap. Handoff to the left side. Oh, and he's chased down from behind by the Kenmore West defender. It's going to make it 4th and about 3, 1:20 to go. Well, I don't know. That's a good question, Evan. Does Clarence have a kicker? They're taking a timeout, so when we head to game number 2, 3rd and goal for Williamsville East, tie game. Snap. Handoff to the right side. And that is going to be short. It's going to set up 4th down. Jake, we have back-to-back 4th downs coming up with the game on the line. This one's in a timeout, so we'll head back to one who's also in a timeout. Why don't we check real quick on game number 8 because I'm seeing some action. This one is not very close, I'll admit. 30-28, 32-7. West Seneca West leads. It looks like West Seneca West is driving.
We got 3 games, actually, that are...
Oh, that's right. We forgot about Niagara Falls Lancaster. Can we check in? Or no, they took a timeout, so we'll stay off of them. They're going to the 4th. All right, when we head back to 2, it looks like they're back first. All right, we'll stay. All right, we're actually at 1. I'll keep an eye on game number 2. That's like these. I think these are going to snap at the same time. Oh, Williams Elise is going to go for the field goal. 4th and 2 for Clarence.
Oh, he's got it. 1st down and more. Still up on his feet, and he's going to be inside the 10. As for Will East, they capitalize on the field goal. But we'll
Yes.
quickly go back to this Clarence game.
Yeah, you can see the replay of that 4th down play right there. And it's going to set up 1st and goal for Clarence, and they get out of bounds as well. I want to see, so that kick was good for Williamsville East. So 17-14 with about 2.5 to go. 2:30 to go.
So here's the snap. Clarence running up the middle, and he is in for the touchdown. Clarence able to take the lead. Ryan Pemiluski, the senior running back, able to punch it in.
Look at that. You know, he just had a lane. He was almost untouched, Jake, as he went in. Perfect play call, executed well, and Clarence takes the lead with under a minute to go.
And then just to take a look at the standings, this is going to be so huge for Clarence. Out of all the conference league games in A1, they have the least amount with 3 heading now into their 4th league game. So this is very huge for them to try to go to 3-1 in league play. They're going to go for 2 here. This would make it a 6-point game. So it makes sense why they got to do it. So from the snap, rolling out to the right, quick over to the left, has a man, and did he get it? He's got it. 2-point conversion is good.
All right, when we head to game number 8, right now, West Seneca West trying to add on another score in this one. 2nd and 7 to go with 9 minutes to go.
This game here between with West Seneca West here in this one. It's brought to you by Colvin Cleaners, West New York's premier green earth dry cleaner. Dry cleaning, wash and fold laundry, shirts, and tailoring. Located at 2375 Elmwood Avenue in Kenmore. You can call it 716-873-2952.
All right, we're going to head to 2. Remember, we just saw Williams Lease kick a field goal. They went up 17-14. Now 2:10 left. Grand Island with the ball. Looks like it's about 2nd and 7, 2nd and 6. They have it near midfield. When we head over to 4, where it looks like a bobbled. Oh, is that a turnover? Looks like there was some kind of a bobbled snap. There, it's going to be loss of yards. It's going to create 4th and long, I think, for West Seneca East. So they take a blunder, and they're going to have to punt the ball back. Why don't we head back to game number 2? And is it a set? No, I think it was incomplete. Incomplete pass going to create a 3rd down. Why don't we check it on game 5? We haven't been there in a little bit. That one is close. So Niagara Falls has the ball back. 11:01 to go in the 4th quarter. Still down 2 scores. So we'll keeping an eye on this. Why don't we head back to game number 1 for a quick second? It looks like Kenmore West finally has the ball back. It's 1st and 10 with 1:01 to go.
Do we have an update?
Why don't we head back to 2?
Do we have an update from Falconer Portville?
I don't know yet.
Okay. Because right now I got Falconer Portville 34-30, 1:16 left in the 3rd quarter.
All right, Grand Island snap, throw over the middle. Oh, it was intercepted.
That is a huge turnover by Will East. Absolutely big play. And remember, folks, Grand Island and Will East, they're the 3 and 4 seed right now in Class A2, tied at 3-1. McKinley's 3-1 in league play. They're up big as well. So this is a huge game to decide seedings in Class A2. And Will East is up by 3 and just got a big turnover.
Meanwhile, Kenmore West still holding on. They get the victory, pull off the upset, and stay alive for a higher seed in the Class A1 division. 2nd down. Snap. Looks, throws to the right side, and receiver is tripped up on second down. Then Kenmore West is going to have to take a timeout. Let's head back to game number 5. Looks like they're coming out of a timeout. All right. West Lancaster, it looks like they have the ball back. They lead by 2 touchdowns. Trying to close this one out. Why don't we head over to game number 8? West Seneca West throw. And touchdown Warhawks. So Warhawks add to their lead. With 5:38 to go in this one. Yeah, if we can pull up Falconer, maybe we put that in game number 7 or 6.
So we're looking to get another game in, folks, that has been going pretty close. Falconer and Portville are battling. Falconer's up on Portville 34-30 after 3 quarters of play.
All right, when we head back to game 1.
Oh, we got a final Jamestown against Hutch Tech. Jamestown won 46-7.
That pass on 3rd down incomplete for Kenmore West. I believe, yeah, that's going to set up 4th down, Jake, for the Blue Devils to keep this one alive. When we head over to game number 2, I think the clock just ran out. And it is about to. So Williamsville East escapes with a victory on that field goal with 2.5 minutes to go. They defeat Grand Island 17-14, and they are very much in the race for that 2 seed in. I'm sorry, I think they're still in the race for the 1 seed technically in A2.
Yes. Well, here's how the standings look like right now. We'll actually talk about it in just a second.
4th down here for the Blue Devils. Throw to the left side, and that one is incomplete. Clarence makes the stop, and they will hold on for the victory to improve. What number were they? Oh.
Real quick, as you take a look at that, why don't we just go to game 2 real quick, just to just show up like Will East, the final score in that one. They pick up the win 17-14 over Grand Island. So here's how the top 3 standings look like now in Class A2. Health Sciences is number 1 at 5-0. McKinley is number 2. They're going to go to 4-1. They're up 44-7 with about 10 minutes to go in the game. And then you have Will East, who is now also 4-1. So right now you got Health Sciences at 1. We don't know fully if McKinley is going to be 2 or Will East is going to be 3 or vice versa. But then you have at the 4 spot is now going to be Grand Island, who is 3-2 in league play. North Tonawanda 3-3, Kenmore East 1-4, Amherst 1-4, Hamburg 0-5. Obviously, these will all update later on at the end of this weekend. But right now, Health Sciences at number 1, and you're going to have McKinley and Williamsville East, possible 2 and 3 spots, seeing what those spots are going to be at the end of the weekend. But that's what the Class A2 is shaping up to be.
Keep in mind, Willie still has a date with Health Sciences at the end of the year.
They do.
So it's not inconceivable that Williamsville East, if they pull off the upset on that last game, they could end up with the top seed in that division.
Right. Yeah, so this is a big win for Williamsville East. Great battle between them and Grand Island, but on their home turf, they pulled out the win.
All right, we're and of course they go to an ad right there, but we're going to Niagara Falls, Lancaster. We'll check in. They should have that score in a second there. We're gonna have Falconer Portville in just a few moments. Check in with them. This is 35-21 still. Falls has the ball with 8:18 to go. Still very much in this game, although they need to find their way to the end zone pretty soon if they want to stay in it for much longer. When we head to game number 4, 26-13. West Seneca East trying to close out this one with 2:20 and counting to go. Are we ready to check it on game number 6? All right. Here we are, game number 6, 41-38 with about 10:48 to go in the fourth quarter. Falconer leading Portville. Portville with the football. Run to the left side on second down. Oh, that's a nice gain. Set up for a first down. Getting close to midfield are the Portville Panthers.
Yeah, and this game here between Portville and Falconer is brought to you by G&G Fitness. G&G Fitness Equipment is a full-service provider, especially home and commercial fitness equipment. With locations in Buffalo, Rochester, and Syracuse, visit livefit.com. So Falconer just scored not too long ago to go up 41-30. As Portville trying to take a deep shot downfield, just missed his man, fall incomplete. End of 3 quarters, Chautauqua Lake up on Fredonia 50-16.
All right, McKinley's up 52-7 over Kenmore East. It's about 8:20 to go in the fourth quarter of that one. Did we have a star point score that I missed? 42-0. That's probably in the third quarter. Trying to get our live scoreboard updated here for you folks. You can see Portville and Falconer on your screen.
Oh, McKinley's now up 52-7.
Yep, that's over Kenmore East. We want to check it back in with game number 5, see how Niagara Falls is doing. Looks like they're about to punt the ball away. Yeah. That's I don't know about that, Jake. Down 15. I know you're kind of deep in your own end, but you think you want to go for it, but they're going to punt it. So Lancaster, chance to close things out. There's a flag on the play. Why don't we stay and see what's going on here?
Well, that flag is thrown by the 34-yard line. That's not where the line of scrimmage was, so I'm curious to see who this is on. Was that after the penalty? Oh, excuse me, was that after the play? Because they might tack that on after, depending on where the ball's spotted, and then they'll tack on those yardage after that. Okay. Okay, so Lancaster just got penalized for unsportsmanlike conduct, so they're going to incorporate this 15-yard penalty after the play.
All right, let's see what's going on in 6. It looks like, okay, I think my eyes were deceiving. I thought I saw a big play. Can we check it on game number 4? As it looks like South Park has the ball back. And that's a sack for the West Seneca East defense. 1:40 to go, 26-13. West Seneca East leads this one, trying to close out the victory.
And it looks like they're going to in this one. It's games by 13 points. West Seneca East will go to 6-0 overall, 6-0 in league play. And Will South picked up their victory too, so they're going to be 5-0 in league play. Will South 5-0 in league play, 5-1 overall.
Rowe.
Able to escape the pressure. And we'll just head over out of bounds to his respective sidelines.
All right, let's see how much time is left in game number 8 here with West Seneca West and Niagara Wheatfield. 2:44 to go. I think it's 33-7 in that one. A lot of games seeming it's not even 9:30, Jake. We have a lot of finals already on the board. Why don't we head over to game 5?
Real quick, I forgot that Ken West Clarence game, Carson Harper was the one on doing play-by-play. I just text him right now, see if he's going to call in. So we'll try to get him in a quick second. While Tom Prince on the call for this one for WXRL. And then Lancaster and Niagara Falls, we'll try to get him when this game goes final.
Yeah, it looks like it's 3rd down and 9 for Lancaster. They're taking their time. They really love to get a first down to choose some more time off the clock, but if they don't get this, it's another opportunity for the Wolverines to claw themselves back into this one.
Not taking himself.
We think game number 3 might need a refresh at some point. That's the Wilson game. But looks like Lancaster got the first down they needed. Is Wilson final? All right, Wilson stays undefeated, 35-7. They win over Randolph. Wilson going to 6-0 on the year.
And Newfane also won too. So they're both going to be 6-0 on the year, 5-0 in league play.
With one more week before their matchup in week 8.
So for Wilson Newfane in Class D, for them to decide the 1 seed, they're going to face each other in week 8. But they both have to win in week 7, so you can get an amazing undefeated 2 teams in Class D to go at each other. But they both
in a rivalry game as well.
In a rivalry game as well, yes. But they have to win. Both teams have to win next week.
All right, Depew 30-19 winners over East Aurora Holland. That game was a little close throughout. East Aurora Holland had a lead for a couple times, but it's ultimately the Wildcats pulling out the victory, staying firmly high in that race in Class B2. But a big run here from Lancaster to the left side, and that is touchdown for Lancaster.
That might be it.
Let's see who had that one. Looks like it was Matt King, the quarterback, taking it himself. Probably put the final nail in the coffin for Lancaster.
And Chautauqua Lake also piling it on against Fredonia. They're up 57-16.
Okay, so Pioneer, that's final. They defeat Lewiston Porter 42-8. Do we have a Will South final? All right, we're going to check on Will South. Last we had was 42-0 over Lakeshore in the 3rd quarter. Snap. Handoff on first down. And that's going to go for about a short gain on that one. All right, Southwestern remains undefeated. They defeat Salamanca 49-7.
Would that give them the 1 seed? Because they beat Chautauqua Lake.
I don't know if it's too early to call.
Well, let me check real quick.
Because I don't know who
I'll check
who they
real
have
quick.
left to play still.
So they beat Chautauqua Lake. They beat Portville, Fredonia, and then Southwestern Frewsburg. Southwestern Frewsburg just played Salamanca, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
who does Southwestern Frewsburg have left?
Well, I'll check real quick. Let me check real quick. They got CSP and Falconer, but here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. CSP's 2-2 in league play, and Falconer is battling now with Portville. They're also 2-2. Southwestern Frewsburg's now 5-0 in league play. I would have to think that gives them the 1 seed because they beat Chautauqua Lake and they just beat Salamanca.
Who else is left on their schedule?
Falconer and CSP.
Falconer has 2 losses. CSP has 2 losses. I think they would have to win at least. They have to win. No, they have,
to win one more.
They have to win one more.
Okay, so I'll take a look at the schedule real
I think
quick.
they just-
So Southwestern Frewsburg takes on CSP next Friday night at 7. That would, if they beat CSP, they get that 1 seed spot in C South.
Yeah, next week they can clinch. A big pass play there. I think that was Falconer. Falconer taking on Portville. This one seesawing back and forth. Is it 40-38? 41-30. Falconer trying to add on. Falconer would move to 3-2 on the year. For the league, I should say. Handoff off the middle with under 7 minutes to go in this one. A lot of games have gone final. If we got a Will South yet?
Yeah, good.
We're in a lot of finals. I'm just going through our scoreboard, folks. We'll have a look at it in a few minutes, where we stand tonight on our games in Week 6. Also looking for a score out there. Dunkirk Olean, if you're at any of these games, feel free to comment on our YouTube, on our Facebook, what they are. Looking for a final from Silver Creek. From has West Seneca East gone final yet? I believe that was our game number 4. Was that 26-13? We go Orchard Park last we heard was 44-0 at the half over Sweet Home. Let's see. West Seneca West. All right, 42-14. The Billies pick up another win. They stay undefeated. Or I'm sorry. Well, they stay undefeated in league play. Their only loss this year was a Week 1 decision to their rival Williams Elise, who plays in A2. We just saw they had a big win earlier on a field goal, 17-14.
And then an interception to end the game.
Yeah.
Against Grand Island.
Well, West Seneca West Niagara Wheatfield is over. I'm trying to figure out the score there. Last I had was 33-7. It looks like Falconer just scored with 5:15 to go. Lining up for the extra point, Jake. Snap, kick is up, and it is good. So 48-30. Falconer now leads with 5:15 to go in the fourth quarter.
This was a very close game. I think at one point it was 34-30, and then since then, Falconer able to tack on 14 more points to pull themselves ahead. Now up by 18 with 5:15 to go in this game.
We check in with game number 5. That was the Lancaster game. Looks like that's right. We had Lancaster score 42-21. I believe 4th down for the Falls to stay in this one. I think he just got it. 3:13 and counting to go. All right, Star Point 42-6. They get the win over Cheektowaga. Jake, do we want to take a call right now?
Just give me 1 second. I might have Carson Harper on.
We have Frank Wolf calling right now.
We got Frank right now?
Yeah,
let's go to Frank right now.
All right, we're going to take Frank Wolf right now on the on our B&T Electrical Supply hotline. Frank, you made your way around a couple games tonight. Let's. I know you're at Hamburg, Amherst, and I think you went to Will South as well. Give us a quick synopsis of where you've been tonight and what you've seen.
The Amherst Hamburg game, just for the start, to see the outpouring of support for the Amherst football community, the school community. In recent days, we lost Jason Beckman, who's been with the program for well over a decade. Beloved high school or middle school gym teacher there, the football coach for as long as we've been doing this, Francis. I needed to be there for at least that. So it was a nice ceremony prior to the game. Unfortunately, Amherst didn't play too well. And, there was a lot of emotions there, a lot of emotions on the sideline. So it was a tough game for them for sure. Hamburg had 2 safeties. I saw that. But I think they ended up winning. It was kind of one-sided. They did get a score at the end, Amherst, but still a tough day for them to take the field, but they did it. Very tough, courageous for them. Then I went over to Will South to catch a little of the Lakeshore game, and I saw a hook and ladder play.
Well, that's one of his specials, Joe Licata.
Yeah, I don't know if he got that from Ty Harper or
I think he got it from Johnny Haynes.
Maybe so, but Francis, it couldn't have worked any better for them. They almost scored a touchdown on the play prior, and they probably should have. It looks like the kid had his feet down. It was right in front of me, but it didn't go the Billies' way. So they came back with the hook and ladder play, and it was pretty one-sided over there. And then I made my way over to Hutch Tech, Jamestown, and by the time I got there, it said quarter 2, 40-7. In actuality, it was the third quarter, or maybe it was 40-0. I don't know. It was bad. And Chase Bonta had 2 or 3 touchdowns in the first quarter, and they shut him down. I saw a punt return. Hutch Tech had 10 guys on the field. The kids were shouting that they only had 10 guys on the field. I don't know if the 11th man just didn't want to come on the field or not, but either way, number 7, name escapes me, he took it to the house pretty easy. And you had the final score there. And Jamestown was down to their second and third stringers there in most of the fourth quarter. So they're feeling pretty good. Well aware of what's going on in Western New York high school football. They knew what was going on in Lancaster and had an idea what was going on with Orchard Park. So they're in tune with.
They must have been watching us.
I think they were. I saw a lot of earpods or whatever and some ears, so I think that's what it was.
All right, well, Frank, thank you very much for joining us on the B&T Electrical Supply Hotline, and I know we have a big game. Are you going to be at the ECC game tomorrow?
I will not be at the ECC game. I will be at a first birthday party tomorrow in God's country.
All right, then we'll let you go and we'll let you get some sleep before that big drive tomorrow. So thank you, Frank, for joining us.
Thank you, guys. Great job.
All right, Frank Wolf joining us. He was visited a trio of games tonight. And we're just gonna. Are we to keep this going, Jake?
Yeah, let's go ahead and bring that graphic up. We also got another guy on the B&T Electrical Supply Hotline. It's our play-by-play man, Carson Harper. Carson, you were on the play-by-play duties of the Clarence Kenmore West game. Francis and I caught a little bit of it. It was a low-scoring affair, but Clarence pulled out at the end of it and was able to pick up the win.
Yeah, it was really interesting. Clarence hosting homecoming. They come out, they punch him in the mouth, 7-0. Eventually, Kenmore West kind of got things rolling. It was penalties were the name of the game. Kenmore West is extremely explosive. It's just, can they keep the ball rolling? Can they keep themselves on schedule? And they came back. They had a good amount of momentum. End of the second quarter, into the half. There was a long drive to start out the second half by Clarence, but Kenmore stopped them, and they took a 9-7 lead. But eventually, it was Ryan Premaluski. He had 2 rushing touchdowns on the night for Clarence, and they were running the ball really well behind that line.
Yeah, Premaluski had a really good night. You mentioned about the O-line. How did Clarence, get so much success from the O-line help they had against Ken West.
Well, it was really like the speed. Like they're big guys. They know what they're doing. Obviously, they've been together for a couple of years now. But I was surprised of the speed of this line. I mean, the trap blocks, the belly blocks, pulling guards. Ivan Poslowski, he was really the unsung hero of the trenches tonight. He was making plays, offense, defense, left and right. This kid was flying around the field for the Clarence Red Devils.
And then on the other side, the Kenmore West Blue Devils, you mentioned about how explosive their offense was, but they had some hard time with some penalties. But how did that offense, find a way to find some success to make this a close one?
Yeah, I mean, it's no doubt it's the Harlan Brandon show. He had a nice night tonight, another touchdown. Came into today, third in Section 6 in rushing touchdown, second in total. Had another one tonight. Cole Raynard, he's a nice little quarterback. He can move well. They were getting him out of the pocket. He was having trouble early on with the rush coming up in front of him. So once they started rolling him out of the pocket, quick passes to Avon Jackson on the outside, he had a nice night. He was really kind of their feature receiver for the Blue Devils. It's the Brandon show. It's going to be, I mean, the kid's electric. He can move in all four directions. But Jamani Harris, he's another guy in their backfield, as well as Nate Bonda. Those guys, I mean, they have the potential to really have a good backfield. It's just, can you stay on schedule?
Carson Harper joining us on the B&T Electrical Supply hotline. Clarence picking up the win. They go to 4-2 overall, 3-1 in Class A1. Kenmore West falls to 3-3 and 2-3 in league play. Carson, appreciate you hopping on for a couple minutes to talk about that game. Thank you very much, man. You have a good one.
Thanks, fellas. You too.
All right. While we were gone, Niagara Falls did score. They are now down 42-28. Let me get my phone.
Oh, so Lancaster scored too, right? Because I think it was like 35. Oh, okay, yeah, 40. Oh, yes, I forgot about that Lancaster touchdown area. Yes, I forgot that touchdown.
42-28, 1:20 to go. So I guess Falls is going to try an onside kick. As
Portville just scored.
When we head back, though, I want to see this onside kick.
Remember, folks, this ball has to go at least 10 yards downfield.
Unless the receiving team touches it first.
Exactly.
Then it's a live ball. I guess they're going to try to squib it. Oh. Bobbled, and smartly the Lancaster player falls on it.
That'll be at Lancaster zone 25 with 1:15 to go.
Not sure how many timeouts left, but I think Jake, first down probably seals this one.
Yeah, absolutely. And this can mean a lot of things for Lancaster. They're a team that had to win to keep, improving in league play. Orchard Park did that as well. I want to say they won their matchup. I don't know if we had an official game there, but they were up 44-0 at the half. Oh, I'm sorry. Orchard Park had a non-league game, so they're going to stay 3-1 in league play.
Yeah.
Lancaster, has a chance to go 4-1, and then Jamestown picked up a win against Hutch Tech. They're going to go 2-2 in league play.
And Lancaster has Bennett next week.
Yes.
So this is an important confidence-building win as they take on the Tigers next week.
And Bennett has to play Lockport tomorrow.
Yeah, Bennett has Lockport tomorrow.
So if Niagara Falls loses, they'll go 1-3. Jamestown would jump ahead of them. They go 2-2.
Yeah, Jamestown would jump ahead, I think.
So, like right now, it would hypothetically, if this game goes as it is, Bennett would be number 1, Lancaster would be number 2, Orchard Park stays at 3 because they're 3-1 in league play, and they were up against Sweet Home. So, regardless if they win or lose, they don't hurt themselves in league play. Jamestown would go 2-2. They have the 4th spot, and Niagara Falls would fall to a tie with 5th or 6th with Lockport, who are both 1-3 right now.
Yeah, they're probably looking right now at that. I think this loss kind of puts them in the 5 seed. Of course, they still have a game against Jamestown coming up. They could kind of muddy the waters a little bit. Mm-hmm. But right now it looks like they're going to be in the 5 spot. But I have to say, this is a very impressive 5 seed if that's where they end up. A team that is fully capable of getting a first-round victory. It was 5, usually plays 4. That's a pretty scary 4 or 5 matchup.
Yeah, it definitely is. Niagara Falls, I mean, they'll go 3-3 overall, 1-3 in league play after this game. That record doesn't completely tell them who they are. Offensively, they can score. Defense can come make up some stops here and there. It's just at certain key points of the game, it's just capitalizing in really big moments where they couldn't be able to get it done. And Lancaster picking up the win. It's official. They pick it up. I believe it was 42-28 was the final. So Lancaster 5-1 overall, 4-1 in league play.
All right, we're going to head back to Falconer, where I believe this one is 48-36. 48-36.
But I think
Falconer has
Falconer's just killing some.
Yeah,
blocks.
Falconer has the ball with the lead, so
Orchard Park was up 44-0 at the half.
yeah, we have again Orchard Park
Against Sweet
final.
Home.
Yeah,
I
producer Evan is
final.
working on finishing up our live scoreboard. Once we do that, or once this game wraps up,
Here's
we'll
the final. Chautauqua Lake beat Fredonia 64-16.
So, folks, we'll stay with this game until it ends. Then we'll take a very, very short break. We'll shore up our live scoreboard and then give you those scores before we wrap up. I know it's a little bit early right now. I think we're still going to make it to 10 o'clock tonight, or pretty close to it. Tom Prince is at that Niagara Falls game. He's still got to do post-game interviews, so I'm not sure if he'll be able to make it to us in time. But you heard that we got live call-ins just now from Frank Wolf, who was at a trio games, and then Carson Harper.
You're all good.
Yeah, it's been a long night. Who was calling that Clarence Ken West game?
We never got the Olean game, did we? We do now. Olean beat Dunkirk 35-12. This comes from Mr. Section 6 on X. Iroquois defeated Albion 42-6. And Orchard Park beat Sweet Home 44-8.
Victory formation now for Falconer. And that will do it. Okay. You know what, Evan? This game has just wrapped up, so why don't we go ahead? Why don't we take a break, maybe a minute break, and then we'll come back, and folks, we'll give you a look at our live scoreboard, our final look at the live scoreboard presented by Western Division. So we'll take a short break. We'll be right back on the Empire State End Zone.
At Richmond Vona, we are seriously dedicated to bettering the communities that we serve.
You will get super high level communication, and you are getting a team of dedicated attorneys, paralegals.
If you put your trust in us and hire us, we promise to take care of everything. Call us as soon as possible so we can start the investigation to fight to get you the settlement you deserve.
Nuts. You still got to go.
Have you guys tried Room 40 yet?
Looking for the perfect spot to throw your next party? Say hello to Room 40, our private event space at both Wingnuts locations. Maybe you got a birthday, a graduation, anniversary, business event, rehearsal dinner, or even a sports banquet. From intimate get-togethers to rowdy celebrations, Room 40 is built to handle it all and fits up to 60 guests. With custom food and drink packages, flexible setups, legendary Wingnuts hospitality, and all the wings you can handle. If you're planning a celebration or get-together in Buffalo, this is where the party's at. Local vibes, zero stress, all fun. Book Room 40 today and throw a party Buffalo won't forget. Hit the link in our bio or visit wingnutsbuffalo.com/room40 to book now.
All right, well,
I'll go if you go to Wingnuts.
Deal.
Welcome back, everyone, to Week 6 of the Empire State End Zone. My name is Jacob Flack. Alongside me is Francis Beck. And Francis, why don't we see the live scoreboard, as a lot of our games have gone final in this one?
Yeah, live scoreboard presented by Western Division. Western Division, home of the great rate. So you can see on there, pretty much every game has gone final. We have a final score for, except for that Franklinville, Gowanda, Pine Valley. Last we heard, it was 44-0 Gowanda, Pine Valley in the third quarter. So I'm assuming the Panthers held on to win that one. But we'll start on the left side. Williamsville South stays undefeated, 42-14 over Lakeshore. Pioneer takes care of business up in Youngstown, 42-8 winners over Lewiston Porter. Olean gets the win, 35-12 over Dunkirk. Iroquois continues their winning ways, 42-6 over Albion. Southwestern Frewsburg, they stay undefeated, a big 49-7 win over Salamanca. Salamanca suffers their second loss in a row after starting out the season 5-0. No, I'm sorry, 4-0. Yeah, I can't do math. That's okay. We have Newfane gets a big win, 58-8 over Allegheny Limestone. Silver Creek Forestville, 27-12 over Cattaraugus Little Valley. Wilson, they stay undefeated, 35-7 over Randolph. Jamestown gets a big win up in Buffalo, 46-7 over Hutch Tech. West Seneca East, they stay undefeated, 26-13 winners over South Park and Orchard Park. In a non-league game, 44-6 winners over Sweet Home. West Seneca West bounces back after a loss to Williamsville North last week. They defeat Niagara Wakefield 33-7.
And then we continue on with a big 8-2 matchup. Williamsville East picking up the close victory over Grand Island, 17-14. A big interception for the Flames, sealing the victory. Star Point blowing out Cheektowaga 42-6. Barker Royhart taking down JFK 46-26. Hamburg over Amherst 32-7. Depew against East Aurora Holland. Wildcats take that one 30-19. Falconer against Portville. We showed the later part of that game here on the Empire State End Zone. Falconer takes it 48-36. Gowanda, Pine Valley, and Franklinville, Ellicottville. As far as we know, there's no official word of a final game yet, but last time we checked, they were up 44-0. Eden North Collins up on Cardinal O'Hara, beating them 35-7. Chautauqua Lake with a big dominant victory over Fredonia, 64-16. McKinley doing almost the same to Kenmore East, 52-7. Clarence edging out Kenmore West. We had that one, 15-9. Lancaster beating Niagara Falls in a big AA battle, 42-28. And then Canisius falling to Steubenville. We saw the end of that one, Francis. Steubenville picking up the late lead and the victory, 35-34.
And then cut off by our screen, unfortunately, in the super early game, Jake, at 6 o'clock. St. Francis defeats Erie PA 46-6 as they pick up another win as well. So that's a look at your live scoreboard this Friday night on this Week 6. Live scoreboard presented by Western Division, home of the great rate. So, Jake, tomorrow, West New York Athletics, no high school football games, but we do have a ECC game. They're taking on Nassau County at noon tomorrow right here on Western New York Athletics, so you can go check that out. Next week, I want to take a look at that school, Jake. I think that may even be more exciting than this week. So Thursday night, it's Kenmore West and Niagara Wakefield, two teams trying to see if they can get that fourth spot in A1. Then we got to Friday. Jake, I don't know which one is better, Lancaster at Bennett or West Seneca East at Will South. That second game, battle and defeat, is then, of course, it's Lancaster-Bennett. You can't ever go wrong with one of those games.
Well,
and then Saturday, we have two games on there, too. We have Depew-Lackawanna and then the game you're doing.
Yeah, it'll be Niagara Falls against Jamestown. That'll be a big AA matchup. Both teams, looking to try to move up in their respective division. But you mentioned West Seneca East against Will South. Well, right now, both those teams are undefeated in league play, and that could decide the first seed in Class B1 after that game.
Yeah, it most likely will decide that one. And then we just saw Lancaster defeat Niagara Falls. Bennett has a date with Lockport next week, so those look like are shaping up to be the top 2 teams in AA right now, squaring off. Of course, I know OU Orchard Park fans think the Quakers will have something to say about that. They probably will. They believe Bennett still has to play Orchard Park. That's going to be in week number 8. But, Jake, really 2 weeks to go left in the regular season. Playoffs starting to shape up. Playoffs really right around the corner.
Yeah, it definitely is. And this week, along with the next 2 weeks, it's gut check time for some teams. Whether you're fighting in that 3 seed, 4 seed, 5, even 6 seed, if you got a chance to, make a couple of good games here, get 2 straight wins, and possibly put yourself in a higher seed in your respective division to try to get a home field advantage, or even just make the postseason. These next 2 weeks are going to really show where teams are when they're facing certain opponents throughout the final 2 weeks, and then what's this divisions for all these all these classes. How are they going to shape up before we get to playoff time?
And then what are those playoff matchups going to look like too?
Exactly.
Yeah, so certainly a fun time of year to be a high school football fan. And Jake, we're at 9:52, but I think it's I think for the first time we're gonna wrap up early, Jake.
Wrap up early. I don't know. I mean, I know Tom Prince has to do his thing. I know he mentioned he was going to call in a little bit to talk about the Niagara Falls Lancaster game. Before we do anything yet, we want to thank some of our sponsors that we didn't really get to yet. Dan Cha-Cha Injury Attorneys being one, and then Pathfinder College Planning, 510 Toy Shop and Sports Cards, The Mental Match with Sam Recco, Canisius High School, St. Joseph's Collegiate Institute, St. Francis High School, Trench Trophy, recognizing the top linemen in Western New York, and then Lewis & Lewis PC, located 37 Franklin Street in Buffalo.
Yeah, those are our sponsors. If you want to keep helping us support high school athletics, so supporting high school student athletes, and you have a business that wants to be publicized, let us know. Please reach out so we can continue to do what we do and promote our local high school athletes and teams.
Well, real quick, while we do have some time, maybe we could take a look at the schedule for next week. Maybe, I know we don't know our top 8 games we'll have on for week 7.
Put that together. I don't want to say it yet, but I did pick out some games.
No, we don't have to mention all that yet, but we could look at some games, even when are happening maybe Thursday, and then some looking at Friday and Saturday. What games stand out now that we've seen the end results for the most part of week 6? Any games jump out to you where, whether we focused on them or not, that are really going to have some playoff implications?
Well, you look at on Thursday, we have Ken West and Niagara Wheatfield. So I'm going to look at A1. That's a game, I think, Niagara Wheatfield, if they want to stay in the playoff race, you got to beat Kenmore West. I know Sweet Home wants a conversation in that too. They have some games left, but that's going to be a big game too in the A1. You have Fredonia and Salamanca. Salamanca, 2 losses in a row now for the Warriors. They need to bounce back. Going to Friday, let's see what jumps out. Olean Iroquois could decide playoff seeding in B2.
Then what about South Park Pioneer? What was the Pioneer game?
South Park Pioneer, that probably...
Well, who did Pioneer play this week?
Lewiston.
Okay, so I remember now. They won that one. So that's one where you have South Park, who fell this week to West Seneca East. Pioneer trying to gain some steam. So this could implicate
that probably
what they
determines the 3rd and 4th seed in B2. So that's one to keep an eye on. Trying to see what else. Lancaster Bennett, we mentioned, that's going to be on Western New York Athletics. West Seneca East, Will South. Trying to see if there's anything else.
And then you have Jamestown Niagara Falls, a game that we'll have on Saturday, next week Saturday on the 18th. Another game where two teams are trying to. Jamestown moved back up to Class AA. Niagara Falls trying to do the same thing after picking up a loss to Lancaster.
Yeah, so we got some interesting games. Gowanda, Pine Valley, Newfane in Class D, probably to shake out the middle part of that Class D standings. So some interesting games, and I think we're going to have an opportunity here for some of these higher seeds to maybe clinch top seed. I'll have to go through the notes over the weekend. But it's interesting, though, because there's a lot of Week 8 games that are a matchup of, like, undefeated teams, or you have an undefeated team and a one-loss team where if that one-loss team wins, they would win the tiebreaker.
Yep.
So which is why, usually at this time more teams have clinched, but because of the way the schedule was kind of set up, and obviously the schedule makers had no idea for sure that what teams would be top or not, but because the schedule has been set up that way, a lot of top seeds won't be decided until the final week.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what these final 2 weeks are going to be and where the seedings are going to be for each one of these classes as we get closer to playoff time.
Yeah. All right, Jake, you want to wrap us up?
Yeah, absolutely. So once again, we say it over and over again how much we appreciate you guys tuning into this show. It's a show that we brought back. I believe it was like a couple years ago that we had this show. So, took a hiatus, but now it's back, and now we're continuously doing this week by week, and we're hoping to do this, as long as we can. But it comes from you guys tuning in, you guys being very supportive of the show, and you guys always being entertained by the multitude of games that we're showing you week by week. So we appreciate you guys tuning in for another episode of the Empire State End Zone. Want to thank our producer, Evan Tringali, being behind the scenes, getting all the amazing stuff done for us. Francis Beck doing an amazing job on the scoring updates, making sure that, we're taking a look at each game, putting in new games, as the night went along. And myself, Jacob Fyack, it's appreciate to be always here on this show and being a part of West Derrick Athletics. We'll see you guys next week for Week 7 of the Empire State End Zone. Have a great night, everyone.